Hey, I bet today's a big day, huh?
It's the day, all right. You know, Nancy Staves doesn't come into Stockton, so I have to pick her up in Stego at 3 o'clock.
You're not nervous, are you?
Nervous? What have I got to be nervous about?
Not a thing?
Darn right. You know, Heath, I must have written Nancy Briggs 100 letters over the past 2 years, and it's just like courting her in person.
You bet.
She's a genteel Eastern woman, but that don't make no difference. She and me are gonna get along just fine.
You don't need any more of that. You're gonna meet that 3 o'clock stage. What do you say I do the honors?
Well, that's mighty kind of you, Heath.
Hey, easy, Jim.
Ooh. I think Nancy will like these.
Well, we'll soon find out. Hey, easy, Jim.
I'm just fine, Heath.
You sure you can drive that buggy all right?
Yes, I can drive that buggy, don't worry. Ah, Jim!
Hey, you hurt, Jim?
Hurts my back again.
Well, don't you move. I better get the doc.
No. Nancy, she's expecting me.
Well, you can't drive that buggy like that.
She's waiting for me. Who's going to pick her up, Heath?
Inside, mister. What happened?
The outlaws were held up.
It was awful, just awful. They shot the driver and that poor girl.
She caught a stray bullet. Miss Briggs here and I were lucky to escape with our lives.
How long ago did they leave?
Oh, about a half an hour. We thought it'd be safer to stay here by the stage.
Oh, you were right. We'll see the sheriff when we get into Stockton.
Do you think we could put the suitcases in your surrey there?
Sure.
Thank you.
Well, I'm supposed to meet someone at Peshtigo.
Well, I'm Heath Barkley, Miss Briggs, Jim North's friend.
Oh, hello.
I'm afraid I have some disappointing news.
I hope he didn't change his mind.
No, that's just a little trouble with his back. Nothing serious.
Oh, I'm glad. It's nothing to worry about.
In fact, Jim sent these to you.
Oh, they're lovely.
The sooner we get started, the sooner you can tell Jim in person.
Thank you very much, Mr. Barkley. I'll be staying in town for a while. I'd like to buy you a drink sometime if I may.
It'll be my pleasure.
Goodbye, Miss Briggs.
Oh, goodbye, Mr. Clayton. And I want to thank you for all the kindness you've shown.
Don't mention it. Oh, and I'd like to wish you the greatest happiness in your forthcoming marriage.
Thank you. I must confess, Mr. Barkley, I'm a little bit nervous.
Well, there's nothing to be nervous about.
Well, I keep thinking that Jim won't like me.
Oh, Jim will like you. Miss Briggs, have you ever been in Denver?
Denver, no.
Carson City?
No, Mr. Barkley, why?
Oh, you just look familiar to me.
Well, I don't see how that could be. I've never been west of St. Louis. I mean, school teachers see they can't afford to travel very much. Miss Barkley, you're a good friend of Jim's, aren't you?
Well, I've known him a long time.
Well, tell me about him.
Well, I wouldn't know where to begin.
What's his favorite kind of food?
Well, I hope you're good with chili peppers.
Chili peppers.
He acquired quite a taste for them in Mexico last year.
Oh.
Oh, didn't he write you about that?
Oh, no, he didn't.
Oh, I guess he wouldn't.
Why? What happened?
Well, there was a flood in some small Mexican border town. He and Maria went down to see what he could do. Stayed about 3 months.
Oh, 3 months. And he's quite a man, and his wife must have been quite a woman to stay down there with him.
Maria's his housekeeper. His wife, Rachel, died 8 years ago.
Oh, of course, his housekeeper. How could I forget? He's mentioned her so often in his letters. How much further do we have to go?
About 20 minutes.
Oh, how much more tired than I thought. Mind if I rest a bit?
It's going to be fine. Yes. Here they come. Maria, here, hide this. Quick. No, Maria, how do I look?
Oh, you look handsome, Senor Jim.
Good, come, Maria. Maria, I will stand here. You open the door.
Yes.
Well, there she is, Jim, safe and sound.
Please, I take.
I'm so glad you're here. Did you have a nice trip?
Oh, yes, it was fun.
Wonderful. I'm glad you had a nice trip.
I better be going, Jim.
Oh, no, Heath. No, stay. Have some coffee or something. Come in, come in. You must be tired, Nancy. The coffee will pick you up. And we'll have something to eat. Come on, sit down. Right here. Sit down. Nancy, you and me, we got a lot to talk about.
I suppose we do.
Now you can understand why I didn't ask for your picture. It means I'd have to send you one of mine. Well, I didn't want you to see what I looked like, my age and all.
Jim, you don't have to.
Well, now you've seen me. You can turn around and walk out right now, Nancy. I wouldn't blame you one bit, not one bit. Just ask Keith and he'll take you back to town.
I want to stay.
You're sure, Nancy?
I'm sure.
I promise you, you're going to be happy here. I'm going to make you happy. I'll love you. Everybody will.
Jim, I'm happy already, and I'll make you a good wife. The best I know how. Excuse me, dinner will be ready in a few minutes.
Now, Nancy, I don't want you spending all that time in the kitchen from now on. Wait till you see the dinner she's prepared for us. She thought of everything. As a matter of fact, she put in just the right amount of chili pepper.
Oh, with a little help from Maria.
Jim is fortunate to have found you, Nancy. And we're all very glad he did.
Thank you, Mrs. Barclay.
Tell me, what can I do to help you with your wedding?
As a matter of fact, Victoria, I was going to talk to you about that. Nancy would like to go into town to buy a few things.
Well, I'd love to take her. I know just the seamstress to make your wedding dress. Heath can drive us in, and I'm sure there'll be enough time for me to show you our school.
Your school?
I hope you like it. We can use a good elementary grade teacher. The children are lovely, and with your experience, there'll be no problem at all.
Oh, Mrs. Barclay, I don't intend to teach school.
Nancy, in your letters, I thought you said you'd like to maybe teach school.
Oh, well, Jim, I changed my mind. I don't want to teach school. Oh, I mean, you understand, don't you? I have a more important job here, learning to be a rancher's wife. I want to devote all my time to that.
Of course, Nancy, I understand. I'm sure you do too, Victoria.
Of course. We'll find somebody else.
Dinner is served.
Oh, Jim, would you mind too much if I escorted the next Mrs. North to dinner?
Not at all. Victoria?
We'll be a couple of hours picking out laces and materials. Heath, would you like to help us make a few decisions?
Yeah, well, I think I just made one. I'll be back in 2 hours.
Mr. Barclay, would you care to take a hand?
Well, why not?
Quite a town you've got here, Stockton. Much bigger than I thought.
It's growing every day.
Place for expansion. Might be a likely spot for investments.
You're in investments?
Yes, with my father. You may have heard of him. Everett Clayton.
Owns half of San Francisco.
Can we play poker? I want one card.
Mr. Barkley?
3.
The dealer will try his luck with these. And bet $5.
I'll raise you 5.
It's Mr. Barkley's bet.
I'm out.
I said I'll raise you 5.
I'll just call you.
Pull the flush.
Not good enough. Have a full house, all royal.
You didn't have to draw any. I'd say you're a pretty slick dealer.
Take it easy, mister.
Can you get your hand up?
Pull your dog off right now.
Come on, Johnny.
I think I've had enough poker for today, Mr. Barkley. It's a very bad habit of mine, playing poker with strangers. I must get over it. May I buy you that drink now?
Whiskey.
Bartender. 2 whiskeys, please. How is Miss Briggs?
Just fine. She'll be getting married pretty soon.
Well, that's splendid, splendid.
Too bad about that other girl on the stage. What was her name?
Miss Morrison. Sheila Morrison. It's a terrible shame about her.
Was she from out here or just visiting?
Well, I really don't know. She never said much of anything.
Well, you're lucky. Usually a man rides with a woman more than an hour. He gets her life history.
Yes, of course. Would you like a cigar, Mr. Barkley?
No, thanks.
Well, that's unfortunate. Very good, you know.
Jack's Saloon, Copper Creek.
Oh, yes, you've been there, huh?
A couple of years back.
Well, it's a terrible blood hole. I personally am very glad to be out of there.
Well, I must be going. Thanks for the drink, Mr. Clayton. See you around.
I'll look forward to it.
This is the suitcase, Heath. Nobody's called for it, and we ain't found no kin to notify.
Anything in it might help identify her.
Just clothes, like these. Some sort of dance hall girl, wouldn't you say?
Thanks, Phil.
It's nice of you to ferry me back and forth like this, Heath. Just trying to thank you, that's all. Your mother, she's a wonderful person, you know? I've never met anyone like her. In fact, everyone's been very kind to me. Jim's friends. Everyone. Except you, Heath. You don't like me, do you?
I have no reason not to like you. Do I?
No, you have no reason at all.
I've been waiting for you. Here, Nancy, let me take those. What did you do? Come on in, Heath. You buy the whole store? Well, what's in this one? Oh, let me warn you, Nancy, before I open it up, I'm not one for fancy hats.
I hope it's not too fancy.
No. Oh, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Put it on. she's going to make a fine wife, ain't she, Heath?
She sure is. Well, I better be getting on, Jim.
You going to stay for supper?
Well, I'd like to, but it's Brandon time, and you know how that is.
Well, you have to eat. You might as well eat with us. Ain't that right, Nancy?
Yes, please stay, Heath.
I'd like to, but if I don't get back, Nick's liable to fire me.
Oh, listen, if Nick fires you, you come to work for me at twice the pay.
Thanks, Jim. Goodbye, Nancy.
Goodbye, Heath.
Goodbye, Heath. Well, I guess we'll get some of this merchandise upstairs. Nancy? What's wrong, Nancy?
Heath doesn't like me.
Doesn't like you? That's the craziest thing I ever heard.
Well, that's true.
But he's a friend. He's a good friend. What reason would he have? Anybody can see how beautiful you are and how happy you're making me. Any man would be a fool not liking you, loving you. Maybe he likes you too much. He likes you too much, and he's afraid to admit it. You know, young fellas are like that sometimes.
No, Jim, it's nothing like that.
You're the prettiest girl ever to come to Stockton. Prettiest girl most likely ever to show up here. That's it, all right. If I'd known you were half as beautiful as you are, I'd have sent Shorty, my foreman, to pick you up. He's about as tall as he is wide and handsome as a mud fence.
Jim, I want you to promise me to never be jealous of Heath, of Shorty, anyone. Promise me that.
I promise.
You're what I want, Jim. Just what I want.
Nancy.
But, Jared, you're going to San Francisco anyway. Now, couldn't you at least stop by Black & Foster's and see if you can find something?
Yes, I will be in San Francisco. Yes, I could stop by Black & Foster's. However, as much as I like Jim and his bride-to-be and wish them every happiness...
Well, it's not a question of their happiness. It's a question of a wedding gift.
Ah, that's important, true. But so is this extremely complicated case I'm trying.
Well, I suppose I could find something here in Stockton.
As a matter of fact, I saw 2 beautiful silver candelabras at Hammond's.
Candelabras?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you think about that, Heath?
Oh, fine.
Heath, you know we got a whole army of our cattle out there waiting to be branded.
I'm leaving town for a few days, Nick.
After Friday.
Can't wait till then.
Well, I can't spare you. I need to finish that branding.
I'll hire some extra men.
We've hired all the extra men we can. What I need is a man out there to take charge and give orders, like he owned as much of this ranch as I do.
Well, gentlemen, lovely lady, I bid you good morning. And please, do not fail to let me know how all this comes out.
What do you have to do that's so all-fired important?
Never mind. It'll wait till Friday.
Well, after Friday, you can take off for a week. If you like, you can go to China for all I care.
Heath, something is wrong, isn't it?
I'm not ready to talk about it just yet, Mother.
Can you put his feet up? What do you think?
Oh, I think it looks very nice.
Maria, when we started this about an hour ago, the lamp was right where it is. The side table right where it is. Right back where we started.
But the chair, we have moved the chair.
Yes, we've moved it about 2 feet. Oh, Maria, I'm hopeless. I'll just have to face up to the fact that Jim's wife, Rachel, she knew where to put a piece of furniture and make it stick. Maria, what kind of woman was she?
Oh, she was a nice woman, a good woman.
Come sit beside me. Come on, sit down.
All right.
Tell me about her.
You love him very much, don't you?
Yes, I do. I love him.
You are good for him. Better in a way than she could ever be. There is a lightness in him, a laughter. It was never there before. Never.
Well, then, you think if I can't cook as well as she could, or sew, or move furniture, you think we'll be all right together?
Oh, you'll be much better than all right together.
Thank you, Maria.
Well, what are you 2 cooking up? And Maria, talking about cooking.
I will have lunch ready in just a few minutes.
Good. Well, Nancy, what have you been up to? Well, how about that? After 25 years, I can finally put my feet up. Thank you, Nancy.
Well, I'm looking for Mr. Jim North.
You're looking at him? Come on in. What can I do for you?
Well, the gentleman at the bank told me I should look you up, sir. I'm Reed Clayton. I understand you have some acreage for sale.
I have lots of acreage, Mr. Clayton, but I don't know where you got the idea that any of it was for sale.
Hello, Miss Briggs. Nice to see you again.
Hello, Mr. Clayton.
You two know each other?
Oh, yes, he was the gentleman that was so kind to me on the stagecoach.
Oh, Mr. Clayton, pleasure to thank you for that.
Well, don't thank me, sir. Now, if I could talk to you about that acreage, I think I should tell you I represent Clayton Industries. You've heard of us, of course.
Oh, yes, I have. Are you planning to put in an operation here?
Yes, sir, a packing plant. It would employ about 300 people. Now, I know that might not mean much to you, sir, but to the people of Stockton, it might mean a great deal.
Yes, it would. I'll tell you what, Mr. Clayton, I'll saddle up a horse and we'll go for a ride. Maybe we can talk business. Nancy, would you get Mr. Clayton a drink?
Let's stop here. Oh, Heath, what a lovely ranch. What a perfect spot for a picnic. Are there fish in that stream?
Some.
Sit down. Talk to me.
We better be getting back. It's getting late.
Yes, of course. Heath, you know Jim loves me very much, don't you? I love him. I want to make him happy. I can make him happy. You want him to be happy too, Heath. I know that. That's really why I came here today. Jim knows you don't like me. He doesn't know why any more than I do, but it's just eating him up. I love this country. Heath, what are you trying to do to me and to Jim unless you really want to hurt him?
I don't want to hurt anyone. Least of all, Jim.
Well, then remember this. If you do anything to hurt me, you hurt Jim much more.
What happened?
Reed, it's not going to work.
You told me yesterday everything was fine.
With Jim, at Heath Barkley.
You're not marrying Heath Barkley, you're marrying Jim North.
Not if Heath Barkley has his way.
What's he done?
Done? He's done nothing.
Well, then calm down.
I just can't reach him. I can't get through to him. He's not the kind you can buy off. He has a feeling there's something wrong.
All right, he has a feeling, so?
I know this kind, and I know he's not going to stop.
I told you to calm down.
I don't want to be around, Reed, when he starts shaking things up.
When he finds out. If he finds out, you'll be long married. You'll be Mrs. Jim North, the lady of the manor.
Copper Creek isn't that far away, Reed.
Don't worry about it. Everything's going beautifully, beautifully. You act as if you were made for this.
Reed, I'll slip. I'll say something. I'll do something, and Jim, he'll find out the truth.
No, he won't. Because he's so madly in love with you, he wouldn't see the truth of it. It was lit up with fire on the mountain. And that's the truth.
I just can't hurt him. He's a good man. He's a decent man.
He's an old man. He's a rich old man. He's buying more beauty and more love with his money than he deserves. And we're taking far less than we could get. Should get.
Reed, this was a mistake. It was a mistake right from the beginning.
Do you remember when you told me that I'd given you hope? That I'd shown you a way of life you didn't even know existed? You can have that way of life right now.
No, not like this.
Just like this. For you and I, that's the way it's got to be. We knew that when it started. Do you remember Copper Creek? The saloon at Copper Creek? Do you remember how I hated you in those garish clothes, showing yourself to everybody? Do you remember how you hated yourself? Can you go back to that now? So now you just think about the two of us. In a couple of months, after you leave him, I'll take you back home with me. And you can be Mrs. Reed Clayton.
Back home? I thought your father disowned you.
Well, when I can prove myself. There's no more the black sheep for me. I've got the brains to make it big in the business world. But I need a stake, and you're going to get it for me.
I don't want to hurt Jim.
Now, I want you to forget about that old man and think about me. About me. Because I can't make it anymore, drifting around from town to town, winning $1 here and there in a cheap poker game. I need your help. So I want you to go back to Jim North and forget all about Heath Barkley.
Hey, Clayton.
I didn't hear you knock, Kiefer. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming. I'm sure that everything will be just fine. Everything. I don't like your timing very much, Kiefer, but thanks for coming.
Bartender said you wanted to see me. Now, what have I got? It's worth 10 of your dollars.
Well, if we can come to an agreement, we'll call that a down payment on services rendered.
What do you got in mind?
You remember the gentleman we played poker with the other day? Mr. Heath Barkley?
Nancy?
I'm in here, Jim.
Did you have a good day?
And you?
Well, I've been spending my time with Jared.
Oh.
Well, aren't you going to ask me what we were doing? It was mighty important business.
All right. What were you doing?
Nancy, you're not really interested, are you?
Yes, I'm really interested.
Well, I made out my new will. Them lawyers, they sure know how to take something simple and make it complicated. My whole life went into building up this place. Sure, I had a few rough years, but now I got something I'm really proud of. Nancy, something I'm proud to give you.
It's too soon. We've only known each other less than a week. How do you know things are going to work out?
From the moment I first saw you, I knew things were going to work out.
This ranch, everything, it's too much.
Too much? It's not enough. Nancy, I don't know how to say it. But in a way, this ranch, well, it's me. That's what I want to give you.
Jim, excuse me, I have to go upstairs.
Nancy? Nancy, can I come in?
Come in.
Nancy, Why are you packing?
I'm leaving. Maybe we were wrong to think these things could work out by letters.
But the letters are over now. It's a time we've been together that's important, isn't it? That's when we really began to fall in love.
Jim, I'll make a mess of things. I'll make everyone unhappy. Heath, your friend.
What about him?
I saw him today, and Jim, you must let me go. It won't work.
You saw Heath today.
Oh, yes. Victoria was going to show me around the ranch, but she was gone.
Instead, Heath did. Here it is the height of branding season. He doesn't like you, yet he spends time running you around the ranch.
Jim, it's nothing like that.
I got something to straighten out.
Jim, I know where you're going, but you're wrong.
Nancy, you're in my way.
Heath had nothing to do with it.
I'm afraid he doesn't.
Jim, please.
Heath, I want to talk to you.
Jim, I gotta catch a train.
I want to talk to you now.
When I get back?
It'll be too late. Get on off that horse.
All right, Jim, what's bothering you?
Where you going in such a hurry?
I'm afraid that's personal.
Personal and coincidental.
What are you talking about?
You and Nancy leaving town at the same time.
Nancy leaving?
You don't know anything about that, do you? Heath, when Nancy came to me, she brought me more happiness than I'd thought I'd ever know. I haven't got the words to explain to you what she means to me, but if I lose her, I'm finished. I'm a proud man, Heath. But I'm asking you to leave her be. You're a young fella. There'll be lots of girls for you.
Jim, it's nothing like that.
Don't play innocent with me. I know what you've been up to. Taking her for rides. Asking her to come up to the ranch to see you.
Look, Jim, if Nancy said anything like that, why...
Say anything? She's too much of a lady to say anything. I'm saying...
Jim, you're wrong. I'm not going to argue with you now. Not now.
You're not going to take her away from me without a fight?
Jim, I'm not going to fight with you. You're wrong in what you're thinking, Jim. One of these days you're going to see that. Your dog, mister.
I guess he just don't like your smell. Mister, you just hit my dog. Like hitting me. Now you're gonna have to draw.
I'm a witness. I saw the whole thing. The man was drawn on you. I'll testify to that.
Thanks, Herb.
You know who he was?
No idea.
Well, you're in the clear.
I better get the sheriff.
Yes, sir.
I'd like a ticket to Copper Creek, please.
Copper Creek.
Just about closing, mister. You're gonna have to drink it fast.
Don't want to drink, just some information.
What kind of information?
Now, come on, give me a little kiss, huh?
I don't want to
Victor.
You like that, don't you? Sure you do.
Excuse me, mister.
Good. We'll go home with the bottle, huh?
Come on, cowboy. The lady's had enough of your attention. Let's go. We're closing. Let's go home now. The lady don't care for your company anymore.
Well, you found what you were looking for, Heath. Might as well sit down and have a drink.
Now, what was that question, mister?
Never mind. Last drink I had in this saloon was, 3 years ago.
3 years? Whew, that's a lot of drinks ago.
That girl on the stage, you changed places with her, didn't you?
Yeah, I knew sooner or later you'd find out.
Is that why you left?
One thing Reed taught me is when to throw in a bad hand. Oh, is it Jim you're worried about? Well, let me tell you something. How would he feel after 2 months if his wife told me that she didn't love him anymore and she leaves? Naturally, a nice financial settlement would be in order.
You know, you had me fooled a couple of times.
Did I?
At the stream that day, the way you talked.
Huh?
I thought maybe for a minute there I was wrong. Maybe you really did love Jim.
Not a chance. I'm sorry if I made him think different.
But that's the way it goes, huh?
That's the way it goes. I know he had a different kind of picture of me, but I want you to do me a favor. When you see Jim, you give him this. That's really how I look. And when he feels sad, this'll cheer him up. All he has to do is look at it, and he will feel very lucky that I left him. And now why don't you leave, Heath?
He loves you. You know that, don't you?
That's not my fault.
I think it is. Whatever Jim is, he's not a fool. You gave him back something.
But not love. Maybe kindness to an old man, but not love. Anyway, it's over. It's all over. You said he loved me? Well, he didn't. He loved a girl called Nancy Briggs.
But in Jim's eyes, you were Nancy Briggs.
I'm tired, Heath. I'm going home. Good night.
Mind if I walk with you?
Suit yourself. There's a gun pointed at you right across the street. I swear I didn't know he was here.
Hey, ready? Cup of coffee before we ride out?
I would catch some on the range.
What are you so worried about? You did all you could. You brought her back. The rest of it's up to Jim.
That's right.
That is if she has the guts to tell him the truth.
You should tell him.
And Jim should take it.
Good morning. Aren't you going to have any coffee before you leave?
Oh, no, Mother. Heath here is just itching to catch up with some branding he owes me, so we gotta get going.
We'll see you later, Mother. Oh, if there's any news from Nancy and Jim, would you send one of the hands out and let me know?
No, I think I'll ride over myself.
I get it. Oh, Nancy, Jim, come on in.
Thank you.
Thank you, Heath.
Next time you kiss Nancy, you'll be kissing the bride.
Well, congratulations, Jim.
Oh, I'm so happy for both of you.
Best wishes to you, Jim.
Thanks. Victoria.
A very poor defense, Mr. Scanlon. I suggest you get yourself a good lawyer. You will have some coffee, won't you, Jared?
Yes, please. Well, what's all this? Little homework?
The Cunningham case.
Oh, yes. Well, I'd say from the looks of this, you finally got something on him.
I have. Receipts, affidavits, depositions. I can prove his men dynamited the Collier Dam. Everything there points to the fact that his motive was to buy up the flooded farms cheap.
That sounds a little like an opening address to a jury.
It might be. And this time, there's going to be no tampering with the jury, no bribery of witnesses, no falsifying evidence. This time, Mr. Joshua T. Cunningham is going to find out that he is not above the law. He is going to prison, Jared.
You go after him like that in court, and I'll bet on you. But you know, Jim, I'm curious about one thing.
What's that, Jared?
Well, Cunningham and his lawyer are no fools. They know you're the best prosecuting attorney in California. I'm surprised they haven't moved for a change of venue.
They did. Judge Farnham denied the motion. It's beginning to dawn on Mr. Cunningham that the days of the freebooters in this state are over.
I hope you're right.
Would you excuse me?
Thank you.
I'll get it.
Thank you, Miss Ivy.
Hello, Mr. Gaines. Come in.
Hello, Audrey.
Is Jared home?
Yes, he's in the library.
Hello, Howard. How are you?
As well as could be expected after what happened to Jim Scanlon the other night.
Yes. Jim was gifted and honest. Two things Cunningham couldn't cope with. Except with a shotgun.
How is Mrs. Scanlon?
Well, she went up to Sacramento to stay with her sister.
Mother went with her, so she wouldn't have to travel alone.
Well, Howard, sit down.
We're about to have lunch. Will you join us?
No. Thank you, Audrey. Well, to get to the point of my visit. As you know, it's my job as chairman of the County Board of Supervisors to appoint an acting district attorney to replace Jim Scanlon until an election can be called.
That shouldn't be difficult.
Well, under ordinary circumstances, I'd appoint Mark Bromley. He was Scanlon's assistant for 2 years. He's acquainted with the work of the office. But
what?
Bromley's young, inexperienced. He's never prosecuted a case on his own. Cunningham's lawyer would tear him to pieces and feed him to the jury, one bite at a time. I guess you know why I'm here.
I think you underestimate Mark. He's young, he's smart and clever. He has the advantage of having helped Jim prepare the Cunningham case. He knows it inside and out.
And he also knows Cunningham, and he's scared.
Well, then there must be other lawyers.
None as qualified as you are, Jared. Once you served as assistant district attorney.
Yes, and I was about the same age that Mark is now, and just as scared. Believe me, he'll get over it.
Jared.
No, Audra.
How can you say no? Jim was your best friend.
And that's exactly why I won't prosecute Cunningham.
I don't understand.
If Cunningham's lawyer is as smart as I think he is, he's going to try and convince that jury that I'm not prosecuting his client because he blew up Collier Dam, but because I'm trying to avenge the death of a friend. He'll pose Cunningham as the victim of some kind of personal vendetta and probably get away with it.
I don't think that's valid, Jared.
Neither do I. The jury will judge the facts.
Maybe, and maybe not. I don't intend to take the gamble.
All right, Jared. All I could do was try. Audra?
Jared, who else?
I've made my decision, Audra.
All right. I just hope you don't regret it.
Come in, Jared. I hope you don't mind if we made ourselves at home. Mason had a key that happened to fit the lock. Sit down, Jared.
What do you want?
Well, I've got a problem, Jared. The State Land Office is starting hearings next week in Sacramento on a new open range policy. Now, I'm interested in getting my views before the board. As you know, I'm stuck here in Stockton because of this stupid dynamiting charge the state has against me. It occurred to me that I could hire you to represent me in Sacramento. Hearings will last 4, maybe 5 weeks. Make it worth your while.
Get out of here, Cunningham.
$1,000 a week and expenses. How's that sound?
Get out.
Too busy to take the job.
I'm always busy. You'll get a bill for that.
That's enough, Carell. There's talk around town you may be appointed acting district attorney.
Is there?
I heard Howard Gaines was up to your place yesterday. I asked you to take the job.
Remarkable how you keep your ear to the ground.
I assume you accepted.
You know, you could have saved yourself this masterful attempt to buy me off.
What?
I turned Gaines down.
I think you made a very wise decision, John. Whatever you may think of my offer to represent me before the land office, it still stands. It's yours if you change your mind.
I think I just did.
What?
Changed my mind.
What?
You're much too anxious to have an inexperienced assistant like Mark Brownlee prosecute your case. So I'm going to be in that courtroom when your trial opens. And I'm not going to let up on you until I put a rope around that rotten throat of yours for the murder of Jim Scanlon. Now, for the last time, get out.
Well, now, I'll be looking for that bill from you, Barkley. You'll get paid.
Sure don't make knives like they used to.
I hadn't noticed.
It's a fact. It is a fact.
Well, now, that's fascinating information. Nick, do you mind?
Oh, I just think. Oh, chips all over the place here. Yeah, that's better. Oh, sure don't make knives like they used to.
They also don't make desks like they used to. Look, Nick, why don't you go get something to eat?
I'm not hungry.
What do you mean you're not hungry? You're always hungry.
All right.
I'll get it. Who is it?
Mark Bromley.
Evening, Mark. Hi, Nick. Evening, Jared.
Hello, Mark. Glad you could make it.
Here's the last of Mr. Scanlon's file on the Cunningham case.
Thanks.
If there's anything more I can do, don't hesitate to let me know.
Mark. I kind of feel I should apologize for taking this case.
Apologize? Why?
Well, it would have been quite a chance for you to make a name for yourself.
It's a great chance for me to fall flat on my face, too. The important thing is to get Joshua Cunningham, Jared. Maybe I could have. Maybe he isn't good enough. I know you can.
Thanks, Mark.
Good night.
Here, Mark.
Good night.
Howdy.
Oh, now this is too much.
What'd I say?
Look, one well-intentioned brother is enough, but two is impossible. Now, look, why don't you get out of here and go get something to eat so I can get some work done? Out.
No, now, wait a minute.
Just go get yourself a beer, anything. Only leave me alone so I can work.
One condition.
What's that?
You don't budge from this office.
I promise.
Beer?
Beer.
Beer.
All right, let's go.
Jared! Jared, you all right?
I can't see, Nick.
What do you mean? Jared!
I can't see.
Now I'm going to expose your eyes to different degrees of light. Tell me if you see anything at all. Anything?
Nothing.
Keep trying. Anything?
I can feel the heat, but that's all.
I'll be back in just a moment.
Nothing? Is it permanent?
I can't tell.
Well, what do you mean you can't tell? You just examined him, didn't you?
Go on, Doctor.
The two major causes for sudden blindness are damage to the optic nerve or an hysterical blindness brought on by an emotional shock.
Which is it with Jared?
I can't be sure yet, but if damage has been done to the optic nerve, then blindness is permanent.
And if it's shock?
Then there's a chance he can recover. When or how soon, I don't know. We can only wait. But in the meantime...
In the meantime, he's blind. Doctor, what can we do?
I don't know. I only know what you shouldn't do. Don't pity him or cry over him. Don't lead him around like a crippled puppy. Adjustment to this is going to be hard enough for him under the best of circumstances. But if you cripple him with your concern, then you'll make it impossible for him. That goes for all of you.
We understand, Doctor.
I was looking for some water. I tripped.
Well, I'm going to see Mr. Cunningham right now.
I'll go with you.
Barkley's brother.
Cunningham,
Hello,
for 2
Nick.
cents, I'd give you a beating that'd make you wish you weren't born.
What credit's good, help yourself.
Just stand quiet.
Hold it!
Sorry, Sheriff. It's all just a little mistake.
Yeah, yours.
What now, Cunningham? Came looking for trouble, madam. And they found it.
Cunningham, you just best go to prison, because I'm going to get to you.
Watch it, Nick.
I know what I'm saying, and I mean every word of it, and you know it.
All right.
You're doing fine, Mr. Barkley. Just fine.
Thank you, Silas.
Silas, would you please get me some eggs from the hen house? I'd like them now.
Yes, ma'am.
Morning, Mother.
Good morning, Jared.
Well, it seems I'm on my own.
You've lived in this house all your life. You know it by heart.
No more pampering, huh?
Isn't that the way you want it?
All right. Here we go. How was that?
Very good.
It was wonderful.
Audra? Well, I'm in the foyer, so there should be a little table right over here. Right about here. Right here. The living room is right over there. The archway is right up there, so it should be about 1, 2, 3. Four steps.
Don't stop now.
All right, let's try the living room. There should be some chairs right over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It was fine.
The drapes are open.
How could you tell?
I can feel the warmth of the sun.
Jared, Nick took the crystal off your watch. You can tell the time by touching the hand.
Remind me to thank him.
I'll fix you some breakfast.
9:10, right?
That's right.
What day is it? I mean, how long has it been since?
3 days.
9:10, day, night, they're just words now. It's like living on the dark side of the moon. You can run along now, Audra. I'll be all right. Mother? Audra?
It's Sharon.
Sharon?
Jared?
Sharon, what are you doing back here?
I came back as soon as I heard about what happened.
Yes, well, I was hoping maybe you wouldn't hear. Seems to me you've already had enough.
I'm all right now, thank you, Jared. I brought you dinner.
Yes, I know. Ham, isn't it? Baked.
Show off. There, now you eat and I'll talk.
Sharon, I wonder if you'd mind not staying.
Oh?
Well, you see, what I euphemistically refer to as my awkward situation is, well, it's particularly acute at mealtime.
Jared, I understand.
Do you? No, I don't think you really do. Maybe a little demonstration. Now, the meat, now that's not particularly a problem, but the vegetables, oh, those vegetables, now that is the real challenge. Now, let's see. Perhaps now you can understand why I prefer to eat alone. I can afford myself the luxury of using my fingers.
We'll talk later then.
Yes.
Jared.
Yes, I asked Sharon to leave.
Well, she was only trying to help. You can't go on like this. Well,
Jared, do you know an attorney by the name of Marvin Sanders?
Yeah, he's Cunningham's lawyer.
Well, he and Cunningham just had a powwow in Sanders' suite at Stockton House.
Well, what of it?
You know who else was there?
Now, how would I...
Mark Bromley. Now, if Bromley's going to prosecute, what was he doing meeting with Cunningham and his attorney?
That could be an explanation.
Mm-hmm, including the fact that Bromley sold out. Cunningham either scared him off or paid him off, or a little bit of both.
You can't be sure of that.
Well, then what was Bromley doing sneaking out the back door of that hotel?
He did what?
I saw him.
The meeting still could have been innocent enough.
Perhaps so. But can you take that chance?
What do you mean, me?
You're still acting district attorney of this county.
Well, a simple letter of resignation will take care of that if someone will be kind enough to write it for me.
It's too late for that. If Mark Bromley has sold out, the rest is up to you.
I can't go into that courtroom. I can't do it.
Yes, you can. Now listen to me, Jared. Nothing has been decided. Perhaps one day you will see again. But if and when that day comes, it won't mean a thing if you can't stand the sight of yourself.
Do it.
Having been sworn, we will proceed with opening statements.
Are you ready for the state, Mr. Bromley?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sanders?
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
You may proceed, Mr. Bromley.
What's he doing here? Your Honor, I apologize for this interruption.
That's quite all right, Mr. Barkley.
As acting district attorney, I assigned Mr. Bromley to this case. However, I've changed my mind. It's my intention to prosecute the case myself.
Very well, Mr. Barkley, if you're prepared to proceed immediately.
I am, Your Honor.
Mr. Bromley, we may need those.
Scared?
Yeah, I'm scared.
Well, there's no need to be. We'll be right here in case you need it.
Look at the jury. They're already beginning to sympathize with Barkley. I should do something. You try.
Your Honor, this sudden change in prosecutors comes as a complete surprise to the defense. Had I known Mr. Barkley was going to be my adversary, I might have planned my case with more of an eye to...
An eye to what, Mr. Sanders?
It's a delicate matter, Your Honor, and I'm loath to bring it up, but in fairness to my client, I feel I must. I'm referring to Mr. Barkley's blindness and the fact that the sympathy and compassion that we all have for him will exert an undue influence on the jury in arriving at a verdict.
Your Honor. One moment, Mr. Barkley. What are you proposing, Mr. Sanders?
Well, in justice to my client, Your Honor, I respectfully request that Mr. Barkley withdraw from the case.
Mr. Barkley?
I have no intentions of withdrawing, Your Honor.
Well, in that case, Your Honor, I suggest that the defendant cannot receive a fair and impartial hearing in this court.
Mr. Sanders?
If he could, he would be acquitted, and Mr. Barkley knows that. And that's the reason for his sudden and dramatic takeover of this case. He's come here not to prosecute the defendant, but to persecute him. He says to the jury, forget the evidence. Convict Joshua Cunningham because you pity me. No. Yes, Mr. Barkley. You've come here to wave your affliction and helplessness around in the face of the jury like a flag.
You shut up. Order. Now, I warn you, Mr. Barkley, I will tolerate no such outbursts in my court. Sit down, sir.
Nick.
Your Honor, I move for a mistrial.
Motion denied. When you're ready, Mr. Barkley.
Gentlemen, I'll be brief. It's the state's contention in this case that on June 24th last, Collier Dam was dynamited. Dynamite planted at the instigation of the defendant. Now, the state will offer conclusive evidence of this. We will further introduce evidence that will show that the motive of the defendant was simply to... I'm all right, Nick. I'm all right, let me alone.
Are you all right, Mr. Barkley?
Yes, I'm fine. Now, gentlemen, as I was saying, the state will offer conclusive evidence that the... Get me out of here. Get me out.
Court will recess until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
How about a drink?
No, thank you. Tearing a blind man apart isn't something I care to celebrate.
Here you go, right here. Right here. Well, I think somebody better tell Bromley the job is all his.
You don't mean that. Jared, what did you expect when you walked into that courtroom? Didn't you know Cunningham's lawyer would tear into you?
Yes. Yes, but I hoped I'd be able to take it.
You can.
Will you stop it? You stop trying to tell me how brave I am. I was lost out there. A lawyer has to be able to see. He has to look into a witness's eyes and know whether he's telling the truth or not. He has to know what effect he's having on the judge, the jury. He can't plead his case to the wall. Take me home.
Jared, I'm not going to insult you by saying I know how you feel. I don't know. No one does. But one thing I'm sure of, and it frightens me just as much as that courtroom frightened you, that if you don't do this, you'll never do anything. You'll just sit in darkness for the rest of your life being afraid, always afraid.
I need more time.
I don't believe that. Time is your enemy, not your friend. Time will only ask for more time. Shall we go?
I just feel so helpless out there.
You don't have to, Jared.
What are you gonna do? Whittle me a pair of eyes?
You can hear, can't you?
And you still have a memory. And you're gonna learn that courtroom. You're gonna get to know every inch of it, every stick of furniture and every crack in that floor.
By tomorrow morning, you're gonna feel as much as home in that courtroom as if you built it yourself.
1, 2, 3. Your Honor? One, 2, 3. Now, how was that?
Good. Tired?
Tired.
That's too bad. We're just getting started.
Now, Nick, you just said
I
it
said
was...
it was good. I didn't say it was perfect. That's what it's got to be tomorrow morning when you walk into this courtroom.
It's important, Jared.
Yeah. One, 2, 3. One, 2, 3, 4. And so, gentlemen of the jury, on the basis of the evidence and the evidence alone, the state is confident that you will find Joshua T. Cunningham guilty. Your Honor, I call Simon Templeton. And as proprietor of the Dry Forks General Store, did you, on the afternoon of June 21st, sell an unusually large amount of dynamite?
I did.
Thank you, Mr. Barkley. I now hand you this receipt and ask if you recognize it.
I do. It's a receipt for the dynamite I sold.
And to whom is that receipt made out?
Joshua T. Cunningham.
Your Honor, the state offers this receipt in evidence. Well, I wonder if I might trouble you gentlemen for a glass of water. Thank you. On June 21st, you were in Daleburg, more than 100 miles from Collier Dam.
How many more times I gotta answer that?
Once more, Mr. Carell.
Yes!
Come now, Mr. Carell, even I can see that you are lying.
Objection?
Sustained. Mr. Barkley, you know better than to make a remark like that.
My apologies, Your Honor. You're excused, Mr. Carell. Call Amy Carter.
That's right. I own the big nugget on the Dry Forks Road, about 2 miles above Collier Dam.
And on the evening of the 21st, did several men come in for a drink?
Yeah.
Did you know them?
No.
Could you recognize them if you saw them again?
Sure.
Miss Carter, are any of those men in this courtroom now?
3 of them. Him, and the
You got to make a liar out of that Carter woman when you cross-examine her.
I'll do my best.
You giving up?
I'll play out the hand, Cunningham. But you might as well face it. Barkley's got you right by the throat.
What if something should happen, Tom? An accident, for instance.
I don't want to hear talk like that.
Would bring Bromley back into the case, I'd still have a chance. Good night, Sanders.
Good night.
How about some coffee?
Ah, that's what I need. When did Heath and Nick say they'd be back?
Oh, they'll be riding herd until morning.
I thought it was kind of quiet around here.
Mrs. Barkley. Mrs. Barkley.
Mrs. Barkley? Dr. Marat sent me.
Dr. Marat?
Your son Heath's been hurt in a fall from his horse. Nick took him to the doc in town. The doc thinks you better come.
Silas, get the buggy.
And Silas, I want you in order to go with her.
Yes, sir. I'll get back to town.
Now run along. I'll be all right. Run along. I know it's you. You're the only man in town that wears those fancy Mexican spurs. Isn't that Mason with you? I can smell that cheap pomade a mile away. And where you have Mason and Corral, you usually have Cunningham. Isn't that right?
That's right, Barkley.
So Heath wasn't hurt after all. Just a ruse to get me alone.
You thought you had the rope around my throat, Barkley.
You'll never get away with this.
That's possible. It's also possible that I can. If you're not in court on Monday morning, Bromley takes over.
Bromley can't help you now.
He can if he agrees to a mistrial. And I think he can be persuaded that such a motion is in order. Stand up.
He said, get up.
Don't fight it, Barkley.
All right, Cunningham. What are you going to do with me?
You're going to have an accident. There's an open well out back. You went out to get some fresh air. You got confused, stumbled, fell into the well, and drowned.
Take a look outside.
All clear.
Bring him along.
All right, Barkley. Let's go.
Morrell! Morrell? Corral! 5, 6. Let's try a window. Get some light in here. Well? Where is he? Where is he? I don't know. He busted the lamp. You look upstairs, I'll check the kitchen.
Looks like he busted them all. In there, come on. Barkley! You two have your guns out? Drop them. Better tell them to drop them.
Do as he says.
One at a time so I can hear him fall.
I can take him.
Come on, try it. We'll see which one gets it first, me or your friend here.
No, Corral.
Let me hear it fall, Corral. I'll kick him over here where I can feel him. All right. Now you two get out of here. You get on your horses and let me hear you ride just as fast as you can.
Do as he says.
Now we're gonna get up, Cunningham. Nice and easy. All right, there's a chair over there. Walk to it, nice and easy. You're gonna sit in that with this gun in your head until somebody comes to take you off my hands.
Imagine it's been a pretty long 3 weeks for you, Jared.
The longest of my life, Doctor.
Now let's get on with the work. Try these first 3 lines. Are those letters still blurred for you?
Huh? Oh, M-T-E-L-E-H.
Fine. Now go on with the next one.
F-D-P-L-T-C-E-O.
Pretty good, even though you did get a little ahead of it.
But, Doctor, that's not...
Not the second line, no. It's even better.
F-D-P... Oh, Jared.
Oh, Jared. Oh.
There's no doubt about it, Jared. You're as good as new. You're very fortunate that there wasn't any damage to the optic nerve.
Thank you, Doctor. Thanks for everything.
Well, we got some fences to mend.
Yeah, we're very glad for you, Jared. Right now, we got to get to work.
Hold it a minute, Nick.
What?
Could you boys use a little help?
Well, how do we sure could?
Well, I'm your man.
You're not serious.
Like being in the middle of a cyclone.
This town is going to have one big headache in the morning.
Sorry, haven't even got a closet left, folks.
Oh, we have a reservation, the Barclays.
Oh, Victoria and Audrey. I never could get a reservation.
What is all this?
Cattle, Mrs. Barkley. Cattle, pure and simple. Every rancher with more than one steer is looking to make a sale. Buyers all the way from Denver fighting for the honor of paying top dollar.
Well, congratulations. Tired.
A little.
Is these your bags, ma'am?
Yes, that's right.
Now, if there's anything you ladies want, just holler. Nobody'll hear you, but it's good for the lungs.
What time does the connecting stage to Stockton leave?
First thing in the morning. Rooms 3738 for Mrs. Barkley and her daughter.
Thank you.
Excuse me, but you two ladies wouldn't happen to be cattle buyers, would you?
Sorry.
So am I.
Who's got 37?
I do.
I'll be out of your way in a minute.
Well, let me know when you want to have dinner.
In about an hour.
I hope you'll be comfortable, Mrs. Barkley. This door leads directly to your daughter's room.
Thank you.
thank you, ma'am.
Audra, I'm sorry. I fell asleep at... Audra, why didn't you tell me you changed your room? Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, hello again, ma'am.
I thought this young lady was my daughter. I didn't mean to intrude.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Yes, Miss Barkley?
Could you please tell me what room my daughter is in now?
Who?
My daughter, Audra.
Your daughter?
Well, she was in 37, the one next to mine, but I was just there and all her clothes are gone.
No, ma'am.
What does that mean?
She wasn't in 37.
Well, of course she was.
That room's been empty for 2 days.
Look, Mr.
Gates. George Gates.
Mr. Gates, I realize everybody's in a playful mood, but I'm just a little too tired to join in. Now, what room is she in?
Mrs. Barkley, I'm not as fresh as a daisy myself, so suppose we both stop playing.
You helped us check in just a few hours ago. A very pretty young girl with long blonde hair.
Mrs. Barkley, if your daughter was in this hotel, she must have come in a suitcase. I never forget a reservation.
That's what you said when we registered.
You won't find her name in there.
Why not?
Because she never signed it.
Where is she?
There must be some mistake.
There is, and you made it.
Mrs. Barkley, your daughter was never in that room or in this hotel. Why don't you get a good rest? Things will look a lot clearer in the morning.
There's one thing you can't remove.
What?
Her perfume. The odor is still in that room.
Well, I was up in that room myself not more than an hour ago. I didn't smell a thing.
I'm sure you didn't, but I did. Now, I know that perfume. I bought it for her. Do I have to go to the sheriff?
Only if you want to cause trouble.
That's exactly what I'm going to do, until I find my daughter. want to see the sheriff.
You're looking at him.
Oh, I need your help.
People come banging through that door this time of night. Usually do.
It's my daughter. She's missing.
Lady, half the world's missing something. The other half's looking for it.
Something has happened to her.
What?
I don't know. That's why I came here.
Calm down and tell me about it.
Well, we were on our way to Stockton. That's where
Would
we...
you like some coffee?
No.
Mind if I have some?
Sheriff.
You got the floor.
We registered at the hotel to wait for the next stage. I fell asleep, and when I woke up, Audra's room was empty.
Not your daughter?
Yes, everything was gone. Her suitcase, her clothes, everything. I asked the desk clerk if she had changed her room, and he said he didn't know who I was talking about, that I was alone when I checked in.
Were you?
I just told you.
Well, sometimes a long, hot stage
Oh,
ride.
for heaven's sake, Sheriff, I'm not senile.
Maybe she found a traveling companion she liked better.
Is that your professional opinion?
Lady, this time...
Victoria Barkley.
All right, Victoria Barkley. Now, right now, this town is high on cattle, and the money that cattle bring. It's like an avalanche. It don't stop to ask if you want to be part of it. It just kind of sweeps you along.
But they're telling me she doesn't even exist.
Now, why would anyone want...
I don't know!
Well, I just can't go in there.
Sheriff, people. A whole lobby full of people saw us when we checked in. Now, why are you sitting there? Question them. Make them tell you what happened to her. You're the sheriff!
No getting away from that, is there? Let's go.
Satisfied?
No. Well?
I want to look at the room, and I want to talk to...
The porter and housekeeper.
Look, Sheriff, I don't have...
Humor me, George.
Why don't you go out and arrest some drunks? It's more your speed, isn't it?
After I see the room.
Up kind of late, ain't you, Sheriff? Man your age ought to spend as much time as he can resting.
Send up the porter and the housekeeper.
Why?
Because I told you to.
Something going on, Sheriff?
Maybe.
This lady thinks the hotel ought to supply a family as well as clean sheets.
Oh, why don't you go back to bed, Sheriff? I can handle it.
I'm up now, Hearn. I'll see it through.
When you get tired, you holler.
Bring them up to,
37.
Looks empty to me.
Exactly. A whole town is bursting at the seams. People are sleeping all over. Now, why? Why would there be a perfectly good room empty?
You got a point.
This closet. It was empty.
This is Mel Trevor's room. He's been here for the past week. I told her that.
No. This bureau here. But the bureau drawers, the cot, it was empty.
Mrs. Barkley.
It was empty.
All right, in here. I want you to help the lady.
You remember my daughter, don't you?
No, ma'am.
Oh, yes, you do. You brought her bag in here, and you put mine in the other room.
Yes, ma'am.
There.
You gave me $1.
That's right.
I thought it was a lot of money for bringing up one bag.
Oh, no, two bags.
No, ma'am. One bag. Yours. I left it in room 38.
Annie, did you see the lady's daughter?
You were turning down the bed when we came in.
I haven't worked this floor all day.
But you talked to us. You smiled. You saw her. All of you saw her. You tell him. Tell him you're lying. What are you doing to me? What are you trying to do to me?
I'll be in the lobby.
Having a good laugh with your friends over the feeble-minded lady from Stockton?
Maybe somebody down there has seen your daughter.
Then you believe me.
I didn't say that.
Why help me?
As you said, I'm the sheriff.
I'll go with you.
Get some rest.
I can't.
You come on as strong as you did up here, and people are bound to back off.
Oh, I won't, I promise you. Oh, please, please, she's my daughter.
All right. Just remember, you dragged me over here to ask the questions. Tired yet, Bob? I'll let you know. Hungry?
Oh,
When's the last time you ate?
that doesn't seem very important now.
Things always look better on a full stomach. Take it from someone who's put in a lot of hungry hours.
Come on now, Sheriff. Don't be a hog. Introduce us.
We've met.
Not formally, ma'am.
It seems you two have adjoining rooms.
Well, now that's cozy, isn't it?
What room would that be, Mel?
Well, I'll tell you, Sheriff. You asked me to sit down, and maybe I'll let you force it out of me. My name is Mel Trevor, ma'am.
The sheriff asked you what room you were in.
37.
I didn't know you were staying in town, Mel.
And I didn't know I had to tell you every move I made, Sheriff.
Just making conversation. How long's it been?
I'll tell you what. Why don't you give me a refill? Give the lady what she wants, and give us a chance to get acquainted.
Gotta keep asking until you answer, Mel. How long have you been here?
Oh, about a week, on or off.
Get lonesome at the ranch?
Listen, I got 4,000 head of cattle out there. Bidding starts tomorrow. I gotta line up the best prices I can going in. Oh, by the way, you ought to be at the pens by dawn.
Don't think I can make it.
Why not?
Might have something a little more important than keeping the peace for a bunch of steers.
There is nothing more important in this town than steers. If anybody ought to know that, it's you. Ma'am, do you have any children?
3 sons and a daughter.
Well, maybe you'll understand what I'm talking about. Cattle are a lot like some children. You spend your life taking care of them because they don't have enough sense to take care of themselves. You worry about their weight, what they eat, whether they're warm enough in the winter, cool enough in the summer. You don't really have much time for anything else. But if they grow into what you want them to be, why, I guess it was all worth it.
Where is she?
I beg your pardon, ma'am.
Well, you're obviously in on it.
Sheriff, what is she talking about?
I thought I was supposed to ask the questions.
But you're not. You're just chatting.
One swallow, that's the deal.
Well, if you let me in on this, ma'am, maybe I can help.
Steady as she goes, sailor.
Oh, he ain't no sailor, ma'am. He's just a plain everyday range bob.
Why didn't you say some of that?
You thirsty, lady?
No, but my daughter might be. The pretty blonde you danced with a few hours ago.
did I dance with a blonde girl?
Well, if you did, you sure kept it from your best friend.
You know who I mean.
No, ma'am, I don't. Once you bring her on over, I know I'd like her.
Now, what did that get you?
Is the whole town in on this? Why? What did we do?
Why don't you sit down?
What did we do to them? What did we do to them? Now you listen to me. You listen to me. My name is Victoria Barkley. My daughter's name is Audra Barkley. Now, she's missing. And a lot of you know what happened to her. And I'm going to find her. You think because I'm a woman that I'll give up, that I'll turn and run? Well, I won't. So you better get used to me. I'm staying right here until I find my daughter. I'm not leaving here until I find her, and I warn you. I warn you. She better not be hurt.
I'm a doctor, Miss Barkley. Try to calm yourself.
Get her up to her room.
No! No! No!
Let her be, Hearn. She's giving the hotel a bad name. Well, it's better than the one it's got. Now, it's all right, Mrs. Barkley.
Go! Oh, no.
I'm going to give you something to help you rest.
No, no, I don't want to rest.
Now, listen to me, ma'am. Just listen. Now, just dry your eyes and relax.
No.
Let her alone. Let her alone.
You're in on this, too.
What are they? It's all right, folks. It's all right. The lady's a little disturbed. The doc will take care of her. Hey, go ahead with what you're doing. The stage is here. They're holding it for you.
Let it go. I'm not leaving.
We need the room.
Forgot your bag.
I found somebody who knows Audra was with me.
Thought we had that all settled.
The stage driver. He drove us all the way from Salt Springs. Where is he?
There he is.
Oh, no, no, not him.
Oh, you mean that tall,
Yes,
curly-headed?
yes.
Yeah, he's halfway to Denver by now.
Yes, but he knows Audra.
I don't know what the doctor gave you, but it really worked. You slept clear through, Mrs. Barkley. You're a day behind the rest of us.
Where's the sheriff?
Well, most folks come to me with their problems.
I'll take my chances with him.
He can't do nothing for you. He's a tired old man. Well, he gets out of breath just pulling on his boots. Now, let's go back to the hotel and pack your bags and make sure you're on this stage.
Got your ticket, Mrs. Barkley? You'll need it for the stage.
How many ways do I have to say it? I am not leaving. Yes, 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 I have my ticket. Yes, I have my ticket, and I have Audra's. Now, if I were traveling alone, Why would I have 2 tickets to the same place?
Can you answer the lady's question, Hearn? Neither can I.
Now do you believe me?
Well, let's just say I don't doubt you so much.
All right, where do we start?
Guess the best place would be where you lost her. A hotel.
You won't find nothing there except trouble.
What kind of trouble, Hearn?
Kind you can't afford.
Man can afford most anything when he's got nothing to lose.
Well, how about the lady here? From where I'm standing, looks like she's got a lot to lose. Awful lot.
Let's go.
Oh, you're going all right. You just might have company.
It's nice and quiet for a change. Bidding started today. Everybody's out at the pens, where I ought to be.
Mr. Trevor's looking for you.
That a fact.
I want you out at the pens.
Later.
You won't like that.
I'm not one of Mel Trevor's steers.
Aren't you?
You know, George, something's nagging at me.
Well, the doc is in room 7.
It's a riddle. A real puzzler.
Not interested.
Well, you're part of it.
Still not interested.
Now, you said that Mrs. Barkley's daughter didn't register, so she was never in this hotel.
That's right.
Everybody who stays in this hotel must register, right?
That's the rule, Sheriff.
Mel Trevor's name ain't in your book. Does that mean he was never in this hotel?
He didn't have to sign the register.
It's the rule, Mr. Gates.
Maybe in all the rush to get his things into the girl's room, it just slipped everybody's mind.
Excuse me, I have work to do.
I hope you can do it in my office, George.
What?
You're under arrest.
On what charge?
Keeping sloppy books.
You can't do that.
Watch me.
I'm not going, Sheriff.
Well, after what you've told me, you need protection.
I didn't tell you anything.
Didn't you?
No.
You're a very nervous man, George. Everybody knows that.
No, yeah.
Least little pressure, and you just break wide open. But you're my possum. I'm going to dangle you at the end of my rope and see what starts nibbling.
I just do what I'm told. I hand out the keys and I sort the mail. And I laugh when someone tells a joke that I've heard 100 times, because that's what I am. I'm a desk clerk. It isn't much of a life, but it's all I've got. Please, please don't take it away from me.
Then where is she?
Make you understand, they'll kill me.
If you don't scare yourself to death first.
No. No, no. No!
George!
No!
We're just in the line of duty, Sheriff. Can't take chances with a man running from the law.
Or talking to it.
Well, lucky thing you weren't first out the door. Or you, little lady.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
You know, that was a warning. It was telling everybody to keep quiet or they'd wind up like Gates. And they was telling us to back off or we'd wind up that way.
Sheriff, if the whole town is in on this, why didn't they tell you about it?
Guess maybe they figured if I knew, I wouldn't sound too convincing. Well, that's only part of it. More important, they knew I wouldn't do nothing if I did believe you.
They were wrong.
Not by much. Last night, you said they thought you'd turn and run because you was a woman. You don't have to wear skirts to do that. It's just what I want to do. Get out to those pens and mine Mel Trevor's cattle for him.
They don't think very much of you, do they? I mean, the deputy, Trevor, and all the rest.
They got a right. You see, this town, this territory makes its living off of cattle. Prime stock bringing prime prices. When the bidding's over and the money's been collected, everybody puts it in the bank for safekeeping.
You don't have to tell me.
You ought to know who you're getting stuck with. Last year, 3 men made a withdrawal, using their guns for collateral. They cut the bank clerk down because his hands were shaking so bad he couldn't load the money fast enough. He was about my age, and he was an old man, no match for the 3 of them. Looking down at him, I knew I wasn't either. And it froze me. The first time in my life, I was scared of dying. I got on my horse, and I rode the other way. So the ranchers formed a posse, but they'd waited too long. For me, to lead them. They come up empty, and those 3 fellas ain't been found yet.
But you're still a sheriff.
When I got back, they wanted to lynch me. Sometimes I wish they had. Instead, they hired Hearn to be my deputy and told him he'd be sheriff when my term was up. I got 3 months to go.
Then what?
Was a pretty good sheriff once. The town voted me the use of 25 acres near the river. That totals out about an acre a year. It's, Trevor's land.
And he can take it back.
Anytime he wants.
He's part of all this.
Well, now, that's my worry. Why don't you go back to the hotel? I'll be close by.
I practically know your life story, but I don't know your name.
It's Kingston, ma'am. Roy Kingston.
I'm very pleased to know you, Mr. Kingston.
Sure hope you say that when this is all over.
Who is it?
Kingston.
Sheriff, I know where Audra is.
So do I.
Trevor, now he gave me this handkerchief last night. It has Audra's perfume on it.
I wired Stockton
Didn't you hear
night.
me?
This
Trevor
just came...
has Audra.
Read it.
Don't you... Oh, no. No, that's a lie.
Your son's name's Jared, isn't it?
Yes, but they tell her...
Audra, safe and sound. Tell Mother to hurry home. We all miss her. Signed, Jared Barkley.
Oh. They finally got to you too, didn't they?
What?
Nothing. Nothing. Oh, Audra. Oh, oh. Why? Why did you do this to me?
Mrs. Barkley?
He's done this before.
Done what?
Run away.
Your daughter ran away?
In Salt Springs, the last stop we made. I refused to believe it because I didn't want to believe it. It's very hard sometimes for a mother to admit the truth about her daughter, but...
Well, it's not so bad. After all, she's home now. Everything's all right.
Yes. Yes, she's home. And I want to go home, too.
What time does the next stage leave?
Couple of hours.
I'll be on.
You sure?
I just want to go home.
I'm sorry I caused all this trouble.
Oh, we understand, Mrs. Barkley.
It was foolish of me.
Well, we all let our imaginations run away from us sometime.
Sheriff, thank you. Thank you very much for everything.
Hey! Hey! Well, Roy, everything's fine, and nobody got hurt.
You don't count Gates.
I don't.
That strained your elbow. You keep bending it like that, Roy.
Mrs. Barkley's still stuck in his craw.
We had to do it, you know that.
Sure, I know that.
And why fight it? It'll be over soon.
That's supposed to make it any easier?
Keep your voice down.
Oh, come on, Mel. We don't have any secrets around here. We're just one big, happy family.
Listen to me, you drunken bum. In 3 months, you're going to come crawling to me begging for those 25 acres.
Trying to forget that.
Well, don't you forget it. Because I can still say no. Look at you. You're an old man. What are you going to do? Where are you going to go without me, without my land, without my charity?
Think that over.
I'll be in the office.
And Sheriff, don't fall apart again, because there'll be nobody around to pick up the pieces.
We should have taken care of him a long time ago.
You'll get his badge soon enough.
Is this her food?
Yes, Doctor.
Where's Mr. Trevor?
I don't know.
All right, we'll take the tray on down to her.
I'm not going down there.
Take it down. What's the hurry?
I thought you left town.
I forgot something.
What?
Something I left with the porter. Excuse me.
I think we'd better tell the sheriff.
Yeah, good idea.
Audrey. 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 Oh, what did they do to you? What did they...
see why we have to move her.
Doc says one more night down here might finish her.
But supposing somebody sees us?
Everybody's drunk or tired. All we have to do is be careful. She's gone. She couldn't have gone far. Not in her condition.
You couldn't even buy your own lie.
Oh, please, please, let us go. She's very ill.
So are you, Mrs. Barclay. Don't hold out too much hope for your recovery.
You're not like them.
Look again.
You let go of that thing, you'll wake up everybody. Right. We'll take him out of town. Nobody will hear anything out at the Ophir mine.
We'll keep him out of circulation for a few days. That was the deal.
Mrs. Barclay just canceled that deal. She's one of the most respected women in the state. When she talks, everybody listens.
But you just can't kill two people.
Well, how can we kill them, Roy? Mrs. Barclay left town hours ago. Her daughter wasn't even here. Isn't that what she told you?
Yeah, but
We don't know where they went. Nobody else will either.
Oh, you're quite a businessman, aren't you, Mr. Trevor? Tell me, how do you buy a man's soul for 25 acres of land near the river?
That's all I've got.
But is it all you want?
Get the rig and bring her out back. Unlock the rear door.
Go ahead, Sheriff. Go ahead, do it. Pretend we never existed. You can do that. What do two strangers mean to a man who doesn't even care about himself? All it takes is...
Shut up!
Oh!
Back off, Mel!
Get the rig!
That's as far as you go, Hearn.
She's trying to save herself.
That's what we're all trying to do, ain't it?
Roy, the girl has anthrax. You know what that means. Nobody will touch our cattle. We'll be right back where we were a year ago, starving to death.
A full belly ain't worth their lives.
A few more days, it'll all be over. Cattle would be sold, and nobody would know.
I'll know, Mel.
Stay put.
I feel fine.
You'll feel even better when Nick and Jared get here tomorrow, if you stay put.
What am I going to do with her?
Listen.
Did I give the cattle anthrax?
No, ma'am. Humans can't give it.
No, they can only get it.
Well, then why did they kidnap me?
If the buyers knew there was anthrax in the area, they wouldn't touch those cattle. The cattlemen around here'd go broke.
Why didn't you tell me you were ill, Audra?
Well, I thought I was only tired from the trip. And I didn't want to worry you, so I asked the desk clerk to send up the doctor. After he examined me, he gave me a shot, and I went to sleep and woke up in that cellar.
Well, it's over now. And as long as we have to stay here for a couple of days, we might as well be comfortable.
I'll see you before you leave.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you, Mother. She's got a painful sense of right and wrong.
Are you sorry?
No. Gave me another chance. Another 3 fellas riding around out there with something that don't belong to them. And I got 3 months to get it back.
You will.
Go on, wait up there.
you know who I am?
I know who you are. You're Gabe Simmons.
Mr. Simmons will do. Now, you know that I'm the man that put up the $5,000 reward that put you in here?
Oh, I know that, Mr. Simmons. I've just been praying to the good Lord every night that I get a chance to pay you back.
Well, now, I admire a man with spirit. No hard feelings, Jimmy. But when a man comes into my territory, into my town...
I know it's your town, Mr. Simmons. I didn't know you bought the whole country.
When a man comes into my territory robbing my banks, well, that's bad for business, Jimmy. And what's bad for business is bad business for me. Now, do you understand?
You wake me up in the middle of the night to tell me that I'm bad for your business, Mr. Simmons?
You've been an enemy, boy, an enemy of the people. Now, how would you like to wipe the slate clean? Do something for the people.
I'm doing something for the people. I'm giving them the pleasure of seeing me hang.
Well, do this thing, and maybe the people in their gratitude won't want that pleasure. Now, how'd you like to have a retrial, Jimmy? How'd you like to have a jury, my jury, bring in a verdict of innocent this time? Now, boy, I'm offering you your life back. Jimmy, how many men you killed?
No, I don't know. 6, 7, maybe.
10, 11, maybe?
That I could remember.
Well, then you wouldn't mind killing one more, would you?
Oh, I'd be obliged, but under the circumstances, I think that takes some doing.
Well, we'd release you to do the job. You see, you'd have the perfect alibi, Jim. You was sitting here in the jailhouse waiting to get hanged while the murder was committed.
Where are you going? Oh, easy, Matt. Come on. Now, you get right home for supper, or your daughter's going to be awful put out with you. Come on.
Got a room for the night?
You'll have to settle for the whiskey. Town's been full up since early this morning. Big day tomorrow. Will Oakley's coming home.
How far is Hazleton?
Oh, about good 3 hours. Hey, if you got a bedroll, why don't you pick a nice soft spot outside of town and sack down? Start fresh in the morning.
Not a bad idea. How much?
$50.
Sign says 10 cents.
Supply and demand. Tomorrow's a holiday. Everything's gone up. Why don't you come back tomorrow for the big parade?
Don't know that I can afford it.
Good night to you, dear horse. Oh, last night, night before, sing bye, little holiday, and a few drinks. Night before, and Polly, little.
Oh, Paul. Come on, Paul.
I'm all right.
Oh, let me help. Come on.
I said I was. Oh, see, look what you done.
Oh, lie there all night for all I care. Find yourself a hole and bury yourself.
Here,
Oh, Paul. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
No trouble at all. That's a nice-looking animal.
Yeah.
Now, Jimmy, stay out of sight until it's time, here? Go on now, move out now, go on. Will, you hear that?
Don't shoot, men. I'll go quietly. Gabe, you old son of a gun.
Yeah. Now, Will, you still know how to ride a horse?
Still spot you 50 yards and wind up looking back at you.
Well, now, I'm going to call you bluff, Will. I brought a horse out for you. Boy, bring that animal out.
Ooh. Which one of his legs is busted?
Now, the mayor says it's undignified for a United States congressman to ride horseback.
That's the way I rode out 18 years ago.
That's what I told him, man. Oh, Will, them things on the side of the horse, they're called stirrups. You're supposed to put your feet in them. Old fella, you want me to help you up on that horse? Now, look at him. Boy, he's in pretty good shape for an old fella.
Now I'm home.
Not yet, you ain't, Will. Have a cigar.
Well, that does complete the picture, all right. Good seeing you, Gabe.
Good seeing you too, Will.
But there might be, well, a little residue of hard feelings.
You mean because of that bill that you've been trying to get through? I understand you were interested in that acreage. Well, that's 1,000 acres of oil-rich land. Anybody'd be interested, Will. It's government property, Gabe. It'd be a crime to sell it to you at any price, much less for what you're offering. Well, you can't blame a man for trying, now can you? After I introduce my bill and after it passes, you won't be able to touch that land at any price, no matter how hard you try. Now, Will, I'll fight you with everything I got. But if that bill gets passed... Well, look, now, let me put it this way. What is $1 million or so against our friendship? Oh, my God! They're trying to kill me. Will! Will!
Up there, look, on the ridge!
Will, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Will. Will, I promise you, whoever he is, wherever he goes, we'll find him and make him pay. Now, driver, you take the congressman back into town. Jimmy? Hey! Hey! Hold it!
What you doing here?
Camped here last night, a little ways back.
What's your name?
Heath Barkley.
Let me see your rifle. Now, where you from?
Stockton? What's this all about?
I'll ask the questions. You say you spent all last night camping here, huh?
That's right.
Doesn't smell like it's been fired recently. Sure ain't the horse we saw neither.
Killer could have got rid of the gun, changed horses. Killer? You think we're out riding for exercise, boy? About an hour ago, somebody shot and killed Congressman Will Oakley.
Riding a black and white Pinto.
I saw the man you're looking for a little while ago. Well, did you now?
You saw the man that killed Will Oakley?
Saw a fellow named Jimmy Sweetwater riding a black and white Pinto.
Who?
Jimmy Sweetwater.
Gabe, he's drunk.
Take it
Yeah,
easy,
but
Dan.
Gabe, look, I mean, he's
Take it
crazy.
easy,
I had
Dan.
to kill.
Now, boy, how do you know that the man that you saw was Jimmy Sweetwater? It was him. I've tangled with him before. Now, son, you made a mistake. Don't run it into the ground. Jimmy Sweetwater's in our jail, has been for the past 3 weeks. Well, I don't know what kind of jail you got, but I'd check it again. All right. All right, maybe you got a point. Maybe he broke jail. Which way was he heading? Back towards town? Well, now, that makes very good sense, doesn't it? Jimmy broke out of the jail, found him a horse somewhere, and then instead of running for the border, stops long enough to shoot and kill Will Oakley, and then heads back to Pinewood and to the jailhouse.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Dollar, get you 10 when we get back into town, we're going to find that he's escaped right back into that cell.
Well, boy, we don't have anything to hold you on, not yet. But there'll be other posses forming. Some official, some not so official. You tell that crazy story about seeing Jimmy Sweetwater to them. Well, maybe their sense of humor is not as sharp as ours. Boy, I believe it'll be in your best interests if we don't ever set eyes on you again. Come on, Sheriff, move out.
Howdy. Come to join the posse?
Posse?
Marshall's rounding up a posse, help out the one in Pinewood. Find the man killed Will Oakley.
Nick Barkley checked in.
This arrived this morning. He's going to be late. Oh, Josh sprung her right over the minute it got here. Like I was saying, old Josh sprung her right over. Always tip him a dime. Worth it, don't you think? Like your room now?
As soon as I get my horse stabled.
Boys, I want to thank you, but I won't be needing you now. I just got a wire from Pinewood saying that they caught the fellow that shot Will Oakley dead.
Who done it, Marshal?
Oh, some fellow named Matt Carson.
Marshal, this Matt Carson, do you know what he looks like?
I never laid eyes on him. They told me some kind of an old drunk. It's a rotten thing when some drunken clown
Getting tired of being nice to you, Matt. Now, we know you did it, and we know why.
I didn't, I swear.
Matt, a dozen people saw you.
Saw me?
Saw your horse. Now, that was your horse, wasn't it?
My horse?
A black and white pinto. And this rifle, the murder weapon, this is yours too now, isn't it?
Mine?
It's got your initials carved right in the stock. Now, that is your mark, is it not? Oh, come on, Matt. Make it easy on yourself. Get it off your conscience. We don't need it. We got plenty of evidence. But for your own sake, confess. Now, Matt, I could beat it out of you. That's what everybody's expecting. But why make it hard on yourself? Come on, Matt.
You can beat me. You can kill me. But that's not going to change anything. I didn't murder Will Oakley.
How they treating you, Matt?
No complaint?
There won't be any either, I promise you. You know I keep my promises. And Matt, I came here to help you, protect you, see that justice is done. Matt, I want you to tell us everything. I want you to tell us everything that happened.
I don't remember. I just don't remember.
You mean it was all kind of hazy?
Yes, that's it.
Well, we can understand that, can't we, Sheriff? I mean, you've been planning this thing for such a long time.
I've been planning?
To kill Will Oakley.
No.
Now, Matt, I heard you threaten Will myself.
Well, that was just... I drank. Too much, maybe. Everyone knows how I drink. When I drank, maybe I bragged a little. You see, Will Oakley did me dirt once. It was a business deal. But that was years ago.
Yeah, it was years ago, Matt, but you ain't never forgotten it, have you? Especially since Will Oakley went on to become a United States congressman, and you... Well, we all know what happened to you, don't we, Matt? Now, you had the motive, you had the rifle, and you had the horse.
I didn't kill him, I swear.
You swear you don't remember killing him. I mean, it was all hazy. That's what you swear to, and that's what we believe, don't we, Sheriff? Yes, we do, Matt. I mean, you were drinking. You were drunk. You can't recall your actions. You can't recall taking your rifle.
No.
Loading it.
No.
Riding up to the ridge and waiting. Waiting for Will Oakley to make himself a good target. Now, I mean, you knew that we planned to stop the stagecoach.
No.
You knew it. Everybody in town knew it, and you knew it best of all. Now, Matty, you just can't seem to remember. Sheriff, I thought we decided that we were going to help Matt to remember.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's right.
Well, read it, Matt. Maybe to help you to remember.
Yeah, I wrote it out for you. Just the way I figured it'd happen. The only way it could happen.
Now, if there's anything you want corrected in there, the sheriff would be glad to oblige. Now, wouldn't you, Sheriff? If not, just go ahead and sign it.
On the morning of October 16, I, Matthew Carson, being in full control. I'm sorry. I'll read it for you. Being in full control of my senses and
faculties.
Yeah, that's right, faculties. I did lay in ambush and did finally deliver the fatal shots which killed Congressman Willard Oakley. No. No. No.
No, hold it, Sheriff. Now, he's right, Sheriff. No, Matt, believe me, I had no part in writing that confession. Now, you should be ashamed of yourself, Dan. You know better to do a stupid thing like that. Hand me that paper. Thank you. Go on and get me a pen. And some ink. Now then, in full control of my senses and faculty. Well, that's it. There it is. That's the lie. He was drunk. He did it. He did it while he was dead drunk. Drunk out of his mind. Isn't that right, Matt?
Drunk? Yes. Yes, I was drunk, but I...
Crazy drunk. Don't you see, Matt? It's a defense. You didn't know what you were doing. You are not responsible for your actions.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
Yeah. Now, shame on you, Sheriff. The Lord saith, vengeance is mine. He staked out that territory for himself. Here, all we hope to see is that justice is done. And justice isn't hanging a man who kills while he's under the influence of alcohol. It's unfortunate. But it sure as heck ain't murder. There now. Matt, I don't think there's anything in there that you can't sign. Matt, what I did was I crossed out the words in full control of my senses and faculties. And I wrote, while under the paralyzing effect of intoxicating beverages. Now, you can sign that, Matt. Matt, a whole battery of Philadelphia lawyers couldn't give you a better defense than I just give you. Go on and sign it. Oh, Sheriff, why don't you give something for Matt to lean on? Like that Bible over there. That Bible will do just fine. Thank you. Go ahead and sign it, Matt.
About my seeing Jimmy Sweetwater this morning.
I thought we laid that ghost to rest, boy.
Well, I thought so, too.
But you had to come back here and make certain, didn't you? Could it be? No, it's crazy. Still in all. Sheriff, when was the last time you checked back there?
Checked?
The cell block to see whether Jimmy was still there. Not since early morning, I'll bet. And surely not since then. We did have other more important things on our mind, didn't we? Like running down the man that killed Will Oakley. Well, now, that's out the way. Maybe we owe it to ourselves to see whether our Jimmy boy's flown the coop. Dan? Come on, boy.
Hey, Jimmy.
Is that the man you saw? Go on, try the door. Daniel here may have forgot to lock it. How about the window? Jimmy, you've been flying out of there and then flying right back in? Now, boy, I asked you a question. Is that the man you saw?
He sure looks like him. But I don't see any wings, so Jimmy sure as heck didn't fly out of here. Leaving just one possibility.
Like what?
Like maybe I ought to have my eyes checked.
Now you send me the bill. You come out of your way to serve the cause of justice, and I appreciate that. About a week or so ago, I thought I saw an old aunt of mine, been dead and buried 5 years now. Mind plays funny tricks. Eyes go along with it. Maybe seeing ain't believing.
I said maybe I ought to have my eyes checked. But even if I was certified stone blind, I'd still swear it wasn't him.
Sorry, no whiskey today.
You all sold out?
No, sir. In case you haven't heard, we had a tragedy around here. Will Oakley was killed. No place in town serving anything till after the funeral.
Fair enough. How about some of the coffee?
Hey, weren't you in here the other day?
Yeah, I took your advice. Camped outside of town.
Yeah, there was going to be a big parade, all kinds of doings. This place would have been busting with business. Why, I'd have sold more whiskey in 2 hours. That's not the important thing. Will Oakley was a great man. He'd have been even greater, except for a stupid old man with a grudge. They'll hang Matt Carson for what he did, but that won't make things even.
This Matt Carson, does he have a family?
Yeah, just his daughter. You can't blame her for Matt, and I feel sorry for her. She's going to be awful lonely out there alone.
Where's that?
Oh, Carson place, by the bridge.
That's out on the North Road, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
How much for the coffee?
Oh, it's on the house today. You're not thinking of going out there, are you?
What?
I don't advise it. Might look like you were being friendly. And this town won't take to that.
Thanks for the coffee. I just want to talk to you about your father. It's important. May I come in? My name's Heath Barkley. Look, you don't want to talk to me. You just say the word and I'll go now, you hear? Soup smells good. Mind if I sit? Tell you something else about that soup. You, offer me a plateful, I won't say no. But it tastes even better than it smells.
I'm sorry there's nothing to go with it. My father, he was going to bring back a loaf of bread. I usually bake my own. The past few days, I've been so busy at the store. I work over at the general store for Mr. Crowder. Well, we've been taking inventory and... Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just babbling on while my father...
That's all right.
I still can't believe it. Pa, a murderer. Anything else. Every day I expect to hear that he fell down a mine shaft or fell off his horse and broke his neck or walked into a burning building and didn't even feel the heat until it was too late. Anything else. If you tell me he drowned in his own glass of whiskey, I'd believe it. But that he'd take a rifle, lie in ambush to murder Will Oakley? Oh, no. To anyone who knows my father, no.
They say your father had a grudge against Will Oakley.
My father had a grudge against the world. Before my mother died, he blamed her for all his troubles. If only he hadn't been tied down with a wife and a daughter, he could have gone out and licked the world. Somewhere years ago, he just took the wrong turn in life, and he's been blaming others for it ever since. But Mr. Barkley, he's not a murderer.
They say the man who did it was riding your father's horse.
I don't doubt that.
Used your father's rifle.
Probably.
Ma'am, that's mighty powerful evidence.
Is it? There are at least 36 people around here that could tell you how easy it would be to steal my father's horse and his rifle. In fact, half the time he's so drunk he could steal his pants without him knowing it.
Well, if it's any comfort, I think he's innocent too.
Two. You're a stranger here. You've never been met my father.
I've seen him a couple of times.
And despite all the evidence, you know he's innocent.
Well, there's more to it than that. I didn't say I knew he was innocent.
You're working for him.
Him?
Him. Mr. Gabe Simmons. You know who I'm talking about. He sent you here.
Nobody sent me here.
Well, if he did, you can go back and you can tell him that whatever I know, there's nothing I can prove. I was at work when it happened. I can't prove that my father wasn't up there waiting to kill Will Oakley. I can't prove he didn't fire those shots. And if I could, I don't think I'd try. So if you're working for Gabe Simmons, you can get out of here right now, and you can tell him he's safe.
I'd be glad to tell Mr. Simmons all that. Except right now, we're not exactly on speaking terms.
What have you got to do with all this?
I was just passing through.
Well, you shouldn't have stopped. And if you're smart, you won't go back there.
Even to help your father?
Especially to help my father. He's been dead for years. Hanging's only going to make it official.
Look, there's not much I can do. But my brother's a lawyer. I thought I'd wire him from Hazleton. Maybe he can help.
I'm sorry. I know I sound callous. It's just that I've waited on him hand and foot. I've
washed him. I fed him as though he were an infant, and it's true, when he dies, I'm free. I'd like you to go now. There's nothing you can do. You, your lawyer brother, nothing anyone can do. Gabe Simmons is king here. And if the king wills my father dead, he'll hang. People like Gabe Simmons get their way. And when it's done, when he's dead, maybe I'll begin to live.
Take advice too good, do you, boy? We don't appreciate a stranger coming in our town and meddling in our affairs. Or what your father done?
You rotten, murderous Frank! Stop leaving me!
All right, he's had enough. Let's get out of here.
Dirty! I'll get a doctor.
No.
But you're hurt.
I'll be all right.
Now you know what happens to little people. Look, you've tried. You've done as much as anyone can do. Will you go home now and forget us? But you'll die. They'll kill you like they killed Will Oakley. Or they'll hang you like they're going to hang my father. Or they'll beat you to death. But you'll die. I'm his daughter. I should know. He's not worth it. He's not worth it.
Send a telegram. A telegram.
All right, mister. Get your horse. You're coming back with us.
I don't think so.
You defying the law?
This isn't your territory. Maybe you better talk to the marshal here. Maybe I'd better.
Barkley! Barkley. Won't you take another step?
Marshal? Marshal!
Yeah. You better have a good reason for busting in here this time of night.
That man is my prisoner, Marshal.
Well, he ain't going nowhere. What's he done?
He killed Will Oakley.
Well, I thought you had the man that done it, this Matt Carson.
Well, we were half right. Everything pointed to him and still does. It was his gun, his horse.
Well, how does he figure into it?
His name is Heath Barkley. Yeah, that's right. It's one of the Stockton Barkleys. They got a whole lot of land that might be up for grabs if Will Oakley's bill had been passed.
That's a pretty good motive, Gabe, but wouldn't that be true for you, too?
Yes. Except for the fact that Will Oakley was the best friend I had in this world, and that he died in my arms. Don't you take my word for it. We got it straight from the horse's mouth. Right from the man that Barkley paid to do his killing for him.
Matt Carson.
Simmons, you really had to dig to come up with this.
Matt confessed. And he named this man.
Simmons, you're a liar. Matt Carson didn't kill Will Oakley. And he couldn't have named me because I never met the man. Ask him, Marshal. Ask Matt Carson.
Well, that'd be kind of hard to do, seeing as how Matt hung himself in his cell 5 minutes after he signed that confession.
Oh, what'd you do? Did you come back take another look?
He won't be here long, Jimmy. No, sir. We're gonna hang him for killing Will Oakley.
Well, my, oh my. They're gonna hang you for killing Will Oakley. That's the best laugh I've had in years.
Well, you better enjoy it while you can, Jimmy. Because it's going to wind up with a laugh on you.
Yeah? Well, what's that supposed to mean?
I saw you near that ridge the morning Will Oakley was killed. From that, it doesn't take much figuring to know who killed him. What kind of deal did they offer you, Jimmy? Will Oakley's life or your freedom?
What's the matter with you? You been drinking or something?
You know, they can't possibly set you free. Once I tell my story in court, how they let you out of this jail to kill Will Oakley, they're stuck. They can't let you walk out of here after that without it looking like I told the exact truth. So if I hang, you'll hang right beside me. Kind of looks like we're in this together.
I'm afraid that's the truth, boy. We were going to talk to you about it in the morning, but maybe it's just as well we tell you now. There's been a slight change in plan.
Is that a fact?
Yeah, that's a fact, boy. That's a fact we all got to live with if we want to live.
Yeah, he's right. You ain't gonna give me no retrial.
Stay right where you are. Oh, boy, there ain't gonna be no retrial. But you still can get your freedom. Now, I'm not gonna fool with you, Jimmy. Once that boy back there starts into talking, once they suspect that you killed Will Oakley, well, you won't be free for very long, not with half the U.S. Army looking for you.
Well, why don't you keep him from talking like you did Matt Carson?
Too many suicides, too many accidents. No, Jimmy, but if Barkley is shot and killed while he's trying to escape.
All right. Let's go.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yes, you are. It's just like you said, we're in this together. Now, they may hang us. We may break out of here. But we're going to do it together. Right, partner? Now, let you and I go. There's no time for that. Come on. Let's go.
take care of him. Now, you better make your break. There's a horse tied out front.
Hey, it's me. It's Jimmy. I would never trust no lawman. Heath, don't you worry none now. I'm just hard enough to live. Tell that marshal what happened. Boy, you better hurry up and get him.
Thanks, Marshal, but some other time.
Well, a little bit late, aren't you?
Well, I can explain that.
Now, don't tell me you didn't get my telegram.
Well, I got your telegram.
I said I'd be here last night, didn't I?
That's right, Nick.
And that this morning you and I would be on a train heading to San Francisco.
Yeah, we were
to
gonna
attend a very important meeting, which was to start, about a half hour ago.
We missed it, huh?
Yes, we missed it. And I don't want this to come as a complete shock to you, Heath, but at least I had the foresight to telegraph ahead that we may be a little bit late.
Well, that's real good thinking, Nick.
But you didn't think of it, did you? Just like you never thought of leaving a message in the desk inside.
I thought of leaving word in there.
But you got tied up. Or should I say maybe you got tied down. Well, now, I hope she was worth it. It was a girl, wasn't it?
Nope. You see, when I rode into Pinewood, well, the hotel was filled up. So then I went over.
Are you sure the necklace is in the Monteja house?
Si.
How many men will be needed?
6, 7.
Now, who will lead the raid?
I will.
No. I will.
You?
Why do you smile, Diego?
Because you are a girl.
And this amuses you?
It does when you talk of leading a raid as important as this. It is a job for a man.
Are you forgetting Santa Lucia?
No.
Or Carboca? Or the ambush of the Federalists at Rio Blanco? Did I not ride as hard and fight as well as any man who was there?
But you did not lead. If you came face to face with Monteja, what would you do?
What would I do? What would you do, Diego? Suppose I am Monteja, and I am prepared to guard the Carlotta necklace with my life. What would you do?
What could I do with a gun pointed at me?
Drop the gun. Drop it. You. Who will lead the raid?
You will lead the raid. You will lead.
You have a walking arsenal for a sister. That is true.
And don't you ever forget it, Mateo Mio. A toast To the revolution!
¡A la revolución!
I propose a toast to Miranda.
Diego, wait! Julio brings news from the Rancho Monteja. Don Ramon has gone to California and he has taken the Carlota necklace with him.
Where in California?
To the Rancho Gringo friends, the hacendados named Barkley.
We will go after him.
Yes, she's right. We can buy guns with that necklace, and more important, food for the people in the areas we control. If we don't feed them, we'll lose their support. I'll go with you.
Thank you, Mateo. Hermano mío,
I will go. We should have 3 more men.
you pick them, Mateo. We'll ride tonight.
I have been entertained by many hostesses, Senora, but none more gracious than you.
Compliments like that, Don Ramon, will only get you an invitation to stay longer.
Ah, how I wish I could. It has been a long time since I spent a more enjoyable 4 days. But I must travel on to San Francisco.
Well, you could spend some time with us on your way back from San Francisco.
Gracias. Unfortunately, I must return without unnecessary delay. The situation in Sonora being what it is.
Just what is that situation?
Chaotic. Revolution is rampant. The Basadas rebels gain control of more villages every day. The government seems powerless to stop them.
What about the report that Emilio Basadas was killed?
It is true. He was killed at Cerro Cibuta a year ago. But his followers carry on.
Yes, Silas.
Is this what you wanted, sir?
Ah, yes. Gracias. And now I have a favor to ask of you, my friends.
Oh, what a lovely box.
Ah, but wait, senor.
Oh, that's beautiful. Heath, come here.
Good evening, Don Ramon.
Good evening, Heath.
Boy, howdy, that must be worth a fortune.
$250,000. It has been in the Monteja family for 3 generations. I had to bring it with me because I heard rumors that the rebels were planning to attack my hacienda and steal it. But I am reluctant to carry such a fortune with me any farther than I have. Which brings me to the favor I would ask. I wish to leave the necklace here with you for safekeeping while I'm in San Francisco. But you have a safe?
Yes, we do.
Then I'm sure it will be perfectly secure.
All right, Don Ramon, we'll keep it for you.
Gracias, senora. Muchas gracias. And now, if you will excuse me, I shall retire. I must be on my way very early in the morning. Buenas noches, amigos. Senor. What do you want?
I am Miranda Basadas.
Basadas?
And this is my brother.
And you know what we want. Where's the necklace?
He doesn't have it.
Bring him inside.
Mateo, don't waste your time on that imperialist pig. He left the necklace with his gringo friends. Let's raid the rancho and get it.
No.
Yes.
Del Miranda, don't be so foolish. Raiding the Barclay Ranch and getting the necklace is one thing. Getting back to the border with it is another. Now, our only chance of making it is to get the necklace without a fight.
And how do we do that?
Our friend is going to help us.
I will not do anything to help you.
I think you will.
Buenos dias, senor.
Hello.
I am looking for the Rancho Barclay.
Well, now, that is the best news I've heard in a long time. This is it. I'm Nick Barkley.
Oh, of course. I recognize you now by my uncle's description.
Your uncle?
Oh, forgive me. I am Miranda Monteja. Ramon Monteja's niece.
Well, now, what do you know about that? Your uncle was here just a couple of days ago.
Yes, I know. I just saw him in San Francisco.
Oh.
I have been there for several weeks visiting friends.
What are you doing in Stockton?
He sent me. He's not feeling well.
Oh,
Oh, nothing serious. He just did not feel up to traveling.
Uh-huh.
He sent me to get the briefcase he left with you.
Oh, well,
He gave me this note authorizing you to give it to me.
All right. Let's go on inside and meet the rest of the family, huh?
Thank you. I cannot stay too long. I have to catch the evening train back to San Francisco.
Oh, well, that's the worst news I've heard in a long time. Well. Oh, right. Watch yourself now. There you are. Huh. Right this way. Somewhere here, there's a letter we got from Montea last... Here it is. What do you think?
That's Montea's handwriting all the way around.
I knew that girl was too beautiful to be a thief.
I'm sorry you won't be meeting my daughter, Audra. She's visiting friends out of town.
Oh.
Well, here we are.
Where is the necklace?
Get it for you first thing Monday morning.
I don't understand.
Well, we thought a necklace worth $250,000 deserved better than a wall safe, so we put it in the vault in the Stockton Bank.
And this being Saturday afternoon,
What does that have to do with it?
locked up tight until Monday morning.
Well, there must be something you can do.
Oh, I'm afraid not.
Looks like you're gonna have to stay here.
Oh, I cannot do that. You see, I'm supposed to be on the evening train for San Francisco. Uncle Ramon is waiting for me.
Well, we'll send him a telegram explaining the situation.
I cannot do that. You see, I came only with the clothes I am wearing.
Oh, Audra's got lots of dresses you can wear.
No, I cannot impose. I will go to the hotel.
Hotel? That's ridiculous. You can stay up at Audra's room.
Well, Nick is right. We wouldn't think of letting you go to a hotel. We'll, yes, I'll show you to your room.
No. Don't you bother. I know how much you enjoy having your tea. I'll take Miss Montea upstairs. I'll have Silas fix you a nice hot bath, and you can rest a little bit before dinner. The other way. Hold it. Let's take a look at that. Think that's good enough? Huh? After all, she is the niece of Don Roman, you know.
Mm-hmm. A very beautiful niece.
Yeah.
What is that I smell?
What? Oh, that. You think it's too much?
No, not if you stay upwind.
Well, I think I better go up and see if she's ready. Right. Oh, buenas noches.
Buenas tardes.
Oh, here.
Buenas tardes.
Oh,
Won't you sit down?
Senorita, would you do us the honor of saying grace? Bendecir la mesa, dar gracias. Nick?
Thank you, O Lord, for the bounty you place before us. Amen.
Senorita. Good morning. Nick and I thought you might like us to take you to church.
Church? No.
Very well.
Senora, I would like to go for a ride this morning.
Of course. You'll find some of Order's riding things in that closet. I'll have a horse saddled for you.
Gracias.
Come with us? Oh?
I feel as though I almost insulted her by asking. You know where she slept last night? On the floor.
Oh, Mother, you must be wrong. Well, maybe she hurt her back or something. You know, it's more comfortable to sleep on the floor when you hurt you.
Nick, she doesn't behave like the niece of an aristocrat. You saw her at the dinner table.
She, may be a little more different than we expected, but well, I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. Come on, let's go. We're going to be late.
Did you get the necklace?
No.
What happened?
The Barclays put it in a vault in a bank in Stockton. They cannot get it for me until tomorrow morning.
But they believe you're Montea's niece. Good.
Good? What is good about it? I've got to go back and be polite to those wealthy gringo swine. Ugh. It turned my stomach.
It'll never.
Silas, would you put the buggy away, please?
Yes, Mrs. Barkley.
Silas, has Miss Montea returned from her ride yet?
Not yet, Mr. Nick.
Huh. She's been gone almost 3 hours.
Well, she'll be all right.
Well, I better change and have a look myself.
Do you know where she went?
She was heading east. I watched.
I might have known.
I better not go any farther.
A beautiful country you have.
It's not my country anymore.
What a true friend to humanity you are. To give up your own land to fight for people who are not your own. That makes you very special.
Senorita, this is a pleasant surprise.
I thought you went to church.
No, I got home about an hour ago.
Oh.
Good thing we met up, though. There's something I want to talk to you about.
Oh, is something wrong?
Oh, no, nothing wrong. Just that, well, I got to thinking about you going to San Francisco all by yourself with that necklace. Well, if something should go wrong.
Oh, well, nothing will go wrong.
No, you can't tell. We've had a lot of train robberies lately, and, well, I think it's best that I go with you.
Go with me?
Yeah, we can stop at the bank, pick up the necklace, and still have time to catch the 9:10.
No.
Why?
Well, I do appreciate the offer, Senor, but, well, I don't want to inconvenience you.
Oh, no, there's no inconvenience at all. It's, well, I'm due for a vacation. I'll tell you what. We can have dinner together in San Francisco. I know a little place up on Russian Hill.
Well, I cannot do that.
Why?
Well, I just can't.
Are you spoken for?
Spoken for?
Yeah, engaged.
You mean betrothed?
Yeah.
Yes, I am betrothed.
Oh, well, that's too bad. Who's the lucky fella?
Oh, he's, just a young man in Mexico City.
Mexico City, huh? Well, now that is strange. For a minute, I thought it was that gringo I saw you kissing a few minutes ago. Now, why don't we stop play acting, huh? You're no more Montea's niece than I am. Who are you?
Yeah, come on,
I don't believe it's anything more serious than that. I'll look in on her again in the morning.
Thank you, Doctor.
Night, Doc.
Would you lock up, please, Nick?
Yeah, right.
do you think you're going? Uh-oh.
Stay away from me.
Well, now, that was real cute.
Get over there.
Do you have any more? Hold it! Let's pick up where we left off this afternoon. Who are you?
I don't have to answer any questions. I have done nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong? You
No.
just tried to shoot me, stab me, and strangle me. If you don't think that's something wrong, perhaps I should bring up the fact that you're a thief.
I am not a thief.
No? What would you call a person that tries to steal a necklace worth $250,000?
A revolutionario.
A what?
I am an anarchista.
An anarchist.
See, I am Miranda Basadas, and my father was Emilio Basadas. Perhaps you have heard of him.
Yes, I have heard of him.
And let me tell you this, gringo. The thief in your house was not I, it was Ramon Monteja.
Is that a fact?
Yes. And the necklace he gave you to keep for him was not his. It belongs to the people.
What people?
The peons of Sonora. It was bought and paid for by the poor. And they were forced to contribute to show their love for the wife of Maximilian when he ruled Mexico. Here. It is called Carlotta necklace.
Well, now, if that's true, what's Mantea doing with it?
He was an agent for Maximilian and Carlotta. That was his reward for betraying his country. Senora, on behalf of the people of Sonora, I demand that you surrender the Carlotta necklace to me.
Good morning, miss.
What is that?
It's your breakfast, miss.
It's your breakfast, miss. What is the matter with you?
Beg pardon?
I thought there was no more slavery in this country.
There isn't, miss.
If you are a free man, why do you work as a servant for these gringos and dados?
It's my job.
Oh, no, my friend, no. I will tell you why. It is because you are still a slave, just as the poor everywhere in the world are slaves of the rich. Animals to be starved and worked and beaten.
I guess I just hadn't thought of it that way.
But this time you did. If you want to be ready for the day when the poor rise up and throw up their shackles.
Viva Miranda!
You gringo, go ahead and scoff. But your day of reckoning will come.
Well,
Excuse me, miss.
all right.
And now, senor,
Yes?
I demand to be allowed to leave this house today.
Dr. Morale said you'll stay, and when Dr. Morale says you may leave, you may go.
I do not understand you.
No.
You will not have me arrested and you will not let me leave.
That's right.
In Mexico, I would have been put in front of a wall and executed.
Oh.
What kind of haciendado are you?
Is that what you want, to be executed?
I want to leave.
Down. Be quiet.
I want to leave.
No! Hold it!
could not have kissed me if I had not let you.
Why did you? I'll, tell Mother you're leaving.
There was a feeling of autumn in the air today, didn't you think so?
Oh, mm-hmm. Won't Senor Nick be here for dinner?
Oh, no, he had to go to Stockton. He won't be home till late, I'm afraid.
Oh. Senora.
Hmm?
You have not asked me why I did not leave today, as Senor Nick told you I would.
No.
Why not? I come into your house as an imposter and to steal, and yet you treat me as though I have done nothing wrong.
Well, I don't think you have. Not yet.
I have never known haciendados like you.
Well, maybe that's because you never really looked for them.
Sorry. I didn't expect you to still be here.
I wanted to talk to you before I left.
What about?
The Carlotta necklace.
All right. Well?
Senor, you have never been poor. And you have never been hungry. I don't mean for an hour or a day. I mean for weeks and months.
No, I haven't.
I have been. What do you think made my father a revolutionary? And why do you think I rode with him?
I don't know.
For years he worked without reward and he lived without hope. He watched my mother slowly die because she gave what little food they had left to their children. To me and to my sisters and brothers. And still we were hungry.
Pardon me, but what has this got to do with the necklace?
There is starvation in the areas the revolutionaries control in Sonora. We need money to buy grain and cattle. Food to stop children from crying and to prevent the death of many people. The Carlotta necklace is our only hope of getting the money. Oh, Senor, I have never begged for anything in my life. But I do now. I beg you to give me the Carlotta necklace, please.
Oh, Miranda, it doesn't belong to me.
But it does not belong to Ramon Monteja either.
That's not for me to decide.
Senor, please.
Miranda. Miranda, if it were mine to give, you would have it.
I believe you.
Where are you going?
Home to Sonora?
Do you want to go?
I have no choice.
Yes, you do.
No.
I've been worried about you. What's wrong?
I could not get the necklace. The Barclays found out who I am.
How did you get away?
I did not have to get away.
You mean they just let you go?
Yes. Mateo, we have to forget about the necklace.
Forget it.
We have no choice.
Oh, we still have Montea.
No. We're going to let him go.
What's happened to you, Miranda?
Nothing has happened to me.
Well, I've never seen you give up so easily before.
Well, I know when we are beaten.
Well, then it is the first time.
All right, then it is the first time. Get done, Montea.
No. Stay where you are. I don't understand you. Are you forgetting all the hungry people we have in our hands back in Sonora? Are you forgetting that if we don't feed them, we'll have lost everything? That we're through?
I'm through now, Mateo.
Oh, what does that mean?
It means that I'm not going back to Sonora.
Miranda!
I can't, Lázaro.
Oh, why? Why? You leave her alone! Now answer me. Why aren't you going back?
Because Nick Barkley wants me to stay.
So that's it. He's in love with you. And you're in love with him. I'm sorry I lost my temper. Forgive me. And you, my friend, my apologies. I'm truly sorry. Miranda, you're making a mistake. Giving up everything you fought for so long.
But I have fought for my people, and they will go on fighting.
Oh, but without the Carlotta necklace, without money to buy food and guns, they will lose. Oh, Miranda, think. With that necklace, victory is assured. We can rule all of Sonora.
We, Mateo?
Yes, us, you and I, all of us in this room.
And who is to decide that?
We are. We've done the fighting. We deserve the reward.
Reward?
What would you do? Hand over Sonora to a mob of peasants?
No, I would let the people rule themselves.
Oh, Miranda. Open up your eyes. Look around. See what the world really is. Do you know what would happen? The haciendados, within a week, would get their ranchos back without it costing them 1 centavo.
And, how much would we charge them, Mateo?
We could get millions out of them.
Have you bought and sold revolutions before, or is this the first time? What is the matter with you? Don't you hear what he is saying?
Remember, Miranda? You asked me to pick those who would ride with us. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Oh, you don't disappoint me. You sicken me. And you make me despise myself for thinking I could ever love you. I really thought you were different. A man who fought with another people in another country because he believed in their fight. You are nothing more than a mercenary.
Get Get in here.
Let me.
And you're going to run an errand for me.
Where are you going, Nick?
Oh, I thought I'd go look for Miranda.
Well, that might be a long ride.
You think she's gone back to Mexico?
She came for the necklace. She didn't get it. She left. Now, what do you think?
I think we should have given her the necklace in the first place.
Oh, Nick.
She deserves it as much as Montea, maybe more. At least she's going to use it to feed some of the people that paid for it, which is more than I can say for Montea, keeping it in the safe. Yeah?
Senor Nick Barkley?
That's right.
I am Lázaro Basadas, Miranda's brother.
Oh, come on in, come on in. It's my mother.
Senora?
What can I do for you?
I am one of 5 men who came from Sonora with Miranda. The others are a gringo named Mateo Hollis and 3 other hombres that work with him.
What are you talking about?
Please, senor, let me explain. We have been holding Don Ramon Monteja in a shack about 10 kilometers from here.
Why?
Because of the Carlota necklace. This morning, Miranda came to us and told us to forget the necklace and to release Don Monteja. She also told us that you asked her not to return to Mexico.
Where is Miranda now?
Mateo is holding her hostage with Monteja. He would not do what Miranda asked. He sent me to tell you that if you do not deliver the necklace to him, Miranda and Monteja will be killed.
Where is the shack?
In a box canyon to the east.
That must be the old Roberts cabin. What are you going to do?
I'll have to get the marshal and some men and get Miranda and Montea out of there.
No, senor. There is only one narrow entrance to the canyon. Mateo could kill Miranda before you got near the shack.
He's right, Nick. That could be very dangerous.
Well, the next best thing to do is to get the necklace to this fella Hollis. Montea shouldn't complain too much. We're saving his life. Now, you tell this fella Hollis that I'll go into Stockton and get the necklace from the bank, and I'll meet him at the shack at 3 o'clock.
Gracias, senora. Gracias, senora.
Oh, senor. Think he's gone. Go on.
Come in.
Nick, I'm sorry.
It's all right. So you're Hollis. Where's Montea?
In there.
Bring him out here.
Get Montea. The necklace.
Sorry about this, Ramon.
I suppose there was nothing else you could do, Nick.
Well, come on, let's go.
Just a minute, Barkley. You don't know me, so I'll forgive you for thinking I'm a fool. But you could have men waiting outside the canyon.
I could have.
So you understand my problem. I have to get back to Mexico for this to do me any good.
Yes, you would have to do that.
So you're coming with me.
Mateo, don't.
You're my ticket to the border.
It's all right.
Get out, the rest of you. How many men have you got out there, Barkley?
Marshal and 3 deputies.
Is the marshal a friend of yours? I hope so for your sake. Because if they try to take us, you're dead. Put this in my saddlebag and get our gear together. We're leaving.
like Nick called it.
I wouldn't do that, amigo! Grab it! Drop those guns! Tell them! Los pistoles! Deja!
Nick, are you all right?
Yeah. What happened, Miranda? You were holding Montoya. You could have used him to get the necklace back. Why didn't you?
I don't know. I just couldn't. It's strange. All of my life I've been taught to hate the haciendados. I never thought one could teach me anything.
Well, I think maybe we're even. Never thought I could learn anything from a revolutionario. Rebel.
I do not know how to thank you, amigo. Is something wrong?
You're sure this is yours, Montoya?
But of course it is mine.
Not according to Miranda. She says it was bought by the people of Sonora and presented to the Empress Carlotta.
Certainly you do not believe her.
Yes, I do.
A rebel? A revolutionary? An anarchist?
Yes.
You mean you are going to turn it over to her?
No, I'm going to turn it over to the marshal here. And he's going to give it to the Mexican consul.
But it is mine.
That, I'm afraid, is your private little battle with the Mexican government.
I'll need a statement from you, Mr. Montoya. Come with me, please. I'll see you in town, Nick.
Let's go back to the house, shall we? What's the matter, Miranda?
I must go home.
Why? Why?
I have been thinking. I denounced Mateo for deceiving my people. But is that any worse than deserting them?
Well,
That is exactly what I would be doing if I stayed here. And the guilt that I would feel would be a wall between us.
Well, you don't have to go home right away. You could wait around a day or two.
No. No, I know if I do not go now, I will not go at all.